Hello, hi, I see you. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a great one. As soon as I see your name, I'll be able to acknowledge you. So I'm just trying to use the invite tab so that I can invite people up if they'd like to come. And I just wanted to jump on you guys because, hey, sunshine to sunset. I see you all now. I see you now. Yes. I see you. I see you. Sunshine to sunset with Rashonda. Hey, I am doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. How are you today? I am awesome. Yes, I'm awesome. Cool gamer. Hey, cool gamer. How are you? You three. So let me tell you all why I'm here today. I'm here because, first of all, I realize that I have not had the chance to connect with any of you in over a week. I'd say about two. And that's because I've been really busy momming. As some of you already know, I have a college student now, so I've been very involved with her heavily. And let me know if you can hear me because I feel like the volume isn't up loud enough, and that could just be me. So give me a thumbs up if you all can hear me fine. Just let me know, and then I will continue because I decided to go back to StreamYard for today. I was using Restream, but I decided to go back to StreamYard, back to where I started, just to compare them to see which one is the best. And I have a topic today, you guys. It is, who are you? Who are you? And hey, Stock is for. Hey, Nora, how you doing? You know what? Let me try to stay on top of your comments because they're important. The ones where you all are just saying hi and talking to each other, I'm going to acknowledge you, but I will keep it moving because I don't want to keep you all too long. This is your Sunday evening, and I want to make sure that I am cognizant of that. Hey, Sydney. Hey, baby, how you doing? Yeah, tell your dad I said hey, and your mama. Tell them both I said hi. I like that thumbs up already from Miss Sydney. Bible quiz. Hi, how are you, Bible quiz? I'm glad you could join. Thank you for coming. And Rashonda, okay, good. You guys can hear me. That's awesome. Okay, so I was trying to do the invite link. So let me know if you all want to pop up with me. I'm not sure what's happening exactly. Hey, Heather with Heather, how are you today? I hope everybody is doing fine. Thank you, Five, for being here. I appreciate the thumbs up that you all have given me so far. Thank you very much. Don't forget to thumbs up the host. Don't forget to thumbs up the host. You all, I was just telling myself, I am going to make myself get on a live today. If it wasn't my own, it was going to be somebody's live. You know why? Because like I said earlier to the two people that were in here before, Cool Gamer and Rashonda, I've been momming and trying to get everything together on my end in my home, trying to get, things the way that I like them, organized in order so that I can continue to move forward with things. And Sydney, good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, sweetie. Oh, that's wonderful. The stock is for the speaking. Everybody's speaking. Rashonda, hi, Hella, Nora shared on Twitter. Thank you so much, Nora, for sharing this because I believe this is a topic that all of us can relate to tonight. And guess what? My family left the house for me to do this live. You all know what? That is a huge accomplishment. They left the house to support me so that I can have some quiet while I was doing this live. They'll probably be only going for a little bit, but I'm fine with that. Oh, hey, Miss Patty. Hey, how are you? Hello. Yes. Hi. I'm glad everybody's coming in. Thank you all so much for joining my live. I was saying, earlier that I wanted to jump on because for some reason, have you all ever had that feeling where something was just pressing on you? Just pressing on you to talk about, and then you just, you kind of just push it in the back, on a back burner, and you say, oh, you know what? I'm going to jump on here. I'm going to do it because it must be for me to say something. And if anybody is on here who knows how to get the stream art link up, I'm not sure why I'm not able to share the link because I want to share so that you all can join me. I don't know, and I don't want this broadcast to end the way that it has. And you all know what I'm talking about if you've been here before. You remember that snafu when we completely went, we crashed over here at Geeky Girls Journal headquarters, and the Jade official Jamie and everybody kind of took over for me and made sure that they held it down until I came back. Well, today I wanted to talk about who you are. And that's what was pressing on me. Like, I've been wanting to do this for, I would say, a couple days. And I know that I've been urged to do it because last night, Unique Speaks. I don't know if she's in the building. Unique Speaks and Always Tam Tam, were on a live, and I was actually at the store with my family, and I saw them, and I was just trying to listen in on their conversation. And I was saying to them, if you are still live when I get home and when I'm able to jump up, I will jump in with you, because that conversation was such a great one, and one that I also wanted to, explore on my own channel, because you all know that I'm over here. I am definitely about, okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm distracted because I'm trying to figure out why I can't share the invite link. I want to invite you all up. Okay, just bear with me for 1 second. And hi, Miss. Hey, she's so Wells and Naj. Yes, she's so Wells. We were able to do a live with the Weightlifting Geek a few days ago, and it was awesome. Being able to share the space with both of those creators, it was more than a blessing for me. I learned from She's So Wells. I learned from the Weightlifting Geek, and again, that was something unplanned. Like, I just thought, hey, I see them, I want to jump up and say hi to those awesome creators, and I want to jump up and say hello. So I did, and it turned out to be a blessing. She's So Wells, thank you for that tip. I'm definitely going to use it in the future. So hopefully I can get this figured out, you guys, with the invite link, and I can bring somebody up with me, whoever wants to come up. Hey, much love from New York. Hey, I caught you live. I know. I'm so excited about that. You caught me live. Hello, Black Rain. How are you? Everybody saying hello. Okay, share. Thank you, Sunset with Rashonda. I appreciate everybody speaking. Great vibes. Yes, it was. Yes, great vibes. It was awesome. Awesome. We had a great time. Tam Tam. Hey, Tam Tam is here. I tagged you, Tam Tam, because you and Unique Speaks were having the same conversation that I've been wanting to have for a little while. And now that I jumped back on StreamYard, it's as if I don't know how to use it anymore, because I was using Restream. Now I'm having issues. I can see the invite tab, but I can't invite anybody up. So I'm not sure what's happening with it. It says having issues. I could press the having issues button, but I just don't want to lose you all. So this is not going the way that I planned. But you know what? We're gonna go with this anyway. Maybe you all can say everything you want to say in the comment section, and then I can just try to keep up. But I really prefer to have somebody up here, because what I know is that oh, hey, Miss Lee. Hey, is Miss Lee here? Is Miss Lee here, Sydney? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so what I prefer to do was just to have people come up and give their perspective on what I'm about to talk about. So if anybody knows how to make this work properly, then just let me know. I wonder if I can just hit copy the StreamYard URL and do it that way. I don't know, you all. You know what? I'll try it. I guess it won't hurt to try it. I'm going to try that and see if you all can come up that way. If not, something's got to work. I don't know what it is. I want to invite you all up. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so the reason that I started Geeky Girls Journal, we all know, was because of my daughters. Yes, I co-created a book with my husband, but the initial reasoning for that was that my daughters have always been the minority. After you hit invite, what happens? Nothing's happening. Like, normally when I hit invite, the link comes up. But this particular time, the link is not coming up. It's just showing the little person, the little avatar thing that says invite. When I click it, nothing. And I see that it's there, but I cannot get it to come up. And I have to say that I'm a little disappointed in that, because I feel like I tend to work a little bit better when I'm talking to others and getting their feedback and getting their input. Of course, I can do this by myself. I have no issues with that. But I like to get other people's perspectives, let other people share their stories. And I thought today would be the day, according to the topic that I have. So the link is showing. Oh, good. Okay, great. So if it's showing, I don't know, Miss Lee. Like I said, I just clicked the URL from the top. So if you all want to click it, and I'll see if because I can see if you appear on the side. So if you appear, I will definitely pull you up if you want to talk about this. I'll get into it now so that you'll know exactly what we're talking about, what I'm talking about. And then you can make the decision, if you'd like to come up, or I can just keep talking and you all can connect on the side, say hello and all that stuff. That works for me. Okay, the link is showing. Okay, thank you, Panama City. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tam Tam, maybe a URL comes up that you can copy. I did that and it's showing, so great. The link is showing. All right. All right. All right. Thank you, Sydney. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right, cool. So Tam, you were a part of the discussion yesterday. I want to catch everybody else up to speed. I was watching Unique Speaks, and I want to join, but I don't know anything about this. Oh, you know what? Sydney, you can come up. I'm going to, and I don't have a camera. Oh, you know what? That's so sweet of you. I'm just glad that you were willing to come up with me, with Miss Andrea. That's so special. I appreciate it, Sydney. If we figure it out, if you want to come up, let me know. We'll work it out. Tell your mommy and your daddy. They could probably help you out because I like to have somebody of your age's perspective as well. So if I can figure something out, we will definitely pull you up, Sydney. Get permission first, though. Okay. All right. All right. So his word, hi host. Hi host. Hi his word. How are you? How are you? So you are so Tam. And Tam, if you want to come up, you don't have to show your face on camera, but just to kind of give us a little summary of what you all talked about, if you want to. I think I got it down. I watched a little bit of the replay yesterday, and what I want to say, you guys, is okay. Good job, Sydney. Good job, geeky girl. So what I wanted to say, you all, was who are you? That's what's been pressing on my heart for so long, because as I was saying, and I got off track for a second, when I started Geeky Girls Journal, yes, it was because we had wrote the book. I did the illustrations and things like that. And there somebody is. Thank you, Sid. Yes, that was the reason that I started. But mainly it was because my daughters were minorities in the area. They still are. They still are. And I felt as if they were starting to question who they were. They were starting to question who they are. For any of you that are parents in the chat, you can probably relate to what I'm about to say. Thank you, Andre. Okay, let me show you all. Okay, hello, Miss. Everybody saying hi. I saw Andre. Hey, good topic. Listen, thank you, Andre. I appreciate you for coming in. The Educated Natural. Thank you for coming in. Educated Natural is another reason I was on her. All of this, you guys, that I'm about to talk about was just happening. It was just a sign for me to say, you know what, I need to do it today. No more excuses. I was in the Educated Naturals live. What's it? I want to say it was Friday maybe, or Saturday. And she was speaking to me. Have you ever been somewhere and you feel like that person was speaking to you? And I mean, I felt bad because I was just like all in her chat. Because you know why I was all in her chat? Because it was so relatable. That topic hit home. And I was just like, you know what? That is me. Everything she's talking about from this point on, she was talking to me. I missed the first part of it, and I plan to go back, Educated Natural, but everything she talked about from the point I was there, from the time I was there until I left, was for me. It was for me, which brings me to today. So I was saying that my daughters, have always been a minority. And I say to parents all the time, you know how you want the best for your kids. I mean, that's always for each generation. I feel like we're supposed to get better and better and better. Sydney, you're here. You want to come up? Let me pull you up, Sydney, because you know what? It's important. Yes, glory to God. Yes. And then what I heard in church service say, everything just kind of came together. And I know, I don't know everything I'm about to say today, but I'm just going to I'm just going to be a vessel and let the Lord use me. Sydney, I'm letting you come up. You want to come up, sweetie? Let's see. Let me stop calling you sweetie, because that's
Hi.
Sydney.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. You know what, everybody in the chat, I just wanted to say this about Sydney before I talk about this. And Sydney, you can chime in if you like. And anybody else who wants to join me, please feel free.
Okay.
Tap that link and come up. But Sydney is a songbird. I don't know if you've all ever heard her sing, but she has so much personality and just so much. I mean, it's a whole vibe. Let me just say that it's a whole vibe with her and her sister. And when I hear you sing, Sydney, it makes me want to sing. And I'm not even the best singer anymore. But
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I just wanted you to know that in front of everybody. Keep doing what you're doing, and have fun doing it. And just, I don't know, be great. I know you're going to be great. I know you are great, and you're going to continue to be great. And I stand to it. I tell my girls this all the time, and any girl, be yourself. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
Being yourself. That's what a part of this Who Are You topic is about. Being yourself, knowing who you are. And I feel like this is almost a freestyle. But Sydney, do you want to say anything? I don't want to just,
This is my first time on a stream,
Oh,
That
it
I'm,
is.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, well, thank you for giving me the pleasure of coming on. That is
yeah.
awesome.
I,
Um,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Um, I I think you should always be yourself. You should never, like, if someone's bullying you for being yourself, then they are wrong for bullying you, unless you're like being a bad person and bullying a bunch of other people, and that's who you are. Then you, you should probably change if you're a bad person and you bully a bunch of people.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Can I say you did an awesome job for your first time? You
Thank
did
you.
spectacular.
Thank
Spectacular.
you.
I would love to have you are welcome. I would love to have you up anytime, any day of the week, Sydney. If you want to come up, you just let me know. You did an
Okay.
awesome, you did an awesome job. I'm glad that you said that about being yourself and being and bringing up the point of bullies because a lot of children your age and adults too have bullies and are afraid to be themselves because of the things that people say to them, the negative things that people say to them, and you know people just not accepting you for you. So I'm so glad that you said that some young person is going to
Hmm.
hear you and they are going to it's going to affect them and it's going to make a difference in their life. So I really appreciate you for coming on and saying that. If you don't say anything else, you've said it. Oh, the educated natural says hi, Sydney.
Hello, the educated natural.
Oh,
Sorry if I said it wrong.
you are just a sweetheart. You are a
Thank
sweetheart.
you. Thank
And
you.
look, you all also, guess what? Sydney participates in the word of the week. So she is one of my
Hmm.
faves too. Yep. Thank you, Sydney. So,
You're
Sy-
welcome.
oh, anytime. So, Sydney, while you're here, and again, if you'd like to chime in, you can. I want to talk to the chat and everybody else because everybody has blessed me with, oh, okay, Jamie. I'm sorry, you all. I was distracted by Jamie because she left such a beautiful, hey, beautiful. I'm about to record, but I'll be right back. Take your time and come back. I'll be here. I'll be here. My family left for, I'll probably say about 40 minutes. I don't know. They gave me a little time and I'm going to definitely use it. So you all bear with me. But what I wanted to talk about, and I see the link works because Sydney came up. So if I have any adults that would like to join me, let me know. I'd be
Hmm.
more than happy to have you up.
Hi, Patty's Southern Kitchen and More.
Good for you, Sydney. Good. She's keeping up with that chat. Thank you, Sydney, because I'll need you for that.
Hmm.
So, what I wanted to talk about, you guys, I said that the reason I started was because my daughters were and they still are the minority in their school system, and what I found because I came from a different environment. Most people where I come from look like me. So I didn't face the same challenges. I faced challenges, but they were a different set of challenges. So what I found with my daughters was that as I was pouring into them, and as a parent, how you do, you pour into your kids and you tell them, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're excellent, you're talented. All truths, by the way, all
Hmm.
truths. And Sydney, your parents have probably said the same things to you.
They
Um,
they say it every single day.
see, there we go. Every single day. You know why? Because we love you. We want the best for you. And we just want you to know how brilliant you are. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I did for my daughters. I just wanted them to know how brilliant they were. And I thought, okay, we had a few issues in the school system. And I said, it has to be a better way to do this. And for us, my daughters all love to read. So it was a book. But then what I thought about after that was, okay, this world or people in the world, some people, not everybody, are telling them the opposite of what I'm saying to them. They're saying, oh, you're whatever they were saying, your hair looks weird, or why do you look like this? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why do you read so much? Just any little attack. And I
They
found,
are perfect. They are the perfect. They're just, yeah.
yeah, is that how a bully does, Sydney? They act like they're perfect, right? And they, try to
I,
pinpoint or they.
I don't really have to deal with bullies because I'm homeschooled.
Oh, great. Well, you don't have that same issue. So it's great that, I mean, your dad did say that.
I
It's
I
great
was
that you're,
talking about I was talking about your daughters. They are perfect.
oh, thank you. I will tell them that. They'd love to hear that. You're still here always. Tam, if you want to come up, let me know. Let me know. Because I love to have you up here to give me side of what you all were talking about, because I don't want to take it too far. But what I did want to say to you all in the chat. So this is what happened. Unique Speaks and Tam Tam were having this conversation last night, and I said, hey, if they're still there, I'm going to jump in. I'm jumping in because this is something I feel really strongly about. They were talking about valuing yourselves, just loving you for you, basically. And then I got on this morning. I was listening to the church, and it was the same message, similar message. And then today, Eric B, some of you may know him. Eric B was having a Sunday, a Bible study. And this was my very first time on his Bible study, but he kind of touched on it. He touched on it a little bit while I was there. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting on and I'm going to say what I have to say. And whoever this reaches, whoever it hits, is for them. So this is for you if you're here. And if you're watching the replay, make sure you leave me a comment below. Tell me your thoughts about this. Okay, so I'd like to know from you all in the chat, who are you? Who do you think you are? Are you somebody who loves yourself? Or are you somebody that has issues, that wakes up and looks at yourself in the mirror and says, and you've made the decision that you don't like what you see? Because I saw some comments in a couple of lives that just disturbed me, and I was really taken aback by them, and disturbed me in the sense that my heart kind of went out to these people. Hey, Tay, if you want to join me, because you talked about this a little while ago, that you would jump up with me if you would and if you could. So I'm talking about who are you today. If you want to come up, this conversation is basically I love me some. See, Jamie, you love you some you. And I tend to be the same way, you all. And I think I'm just trying to look for different people's perspective, because when I was growing up, I had my dad, who's still around, thank God. And he poured into me. He would always say, just like I tell my girls, he would always tell me, I'm beautiful. I didn't have to get that from somebody else. He would always say, you're beautiful. I would get feedback all the time. People would say, you're smart. It doesn't matter what other people think about you. I'm sorry, I'm distracted again. It doesn't matter what other people think about you. How do you feel about yourself? Because God says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Think about that just for a second. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. And what I believe is, once you get to that point in your life where you know who you are, and when I say you know who you are, you don't have to have somebody else come validate you. You don't have to have somebody else come and say, you're beautiful. You already know that, because you're beautiful inside and outside. You don't have to have somebody come say you're smart. You don't have to have somebody come and say, oh, you did that wonderfully, because you already know who you are. You already know that you were created for a time such as this. You already know that what's in you equips you for everything that you need to know. It equips you. You have everything within you that you need. Hi, Mama Nurse. How are you? Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. Sid says hello, Mama Nurse. This is my co-host over here. Let me see. This is my lovely co-host, Sydney. And this is her first live. Isn't she doing awesome, everybody? That's Sydney.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mama Nurse, thank you.
Sorry if I'm being really quiet.
No. You're fine. You're doing an awesome job. Thank you for allowing me to speak while you're here. I can, if you want, sis. Give me a second. Pulling into the house. Okay, yeah, I'll be here, Tay. When you want to come up, you come right on up. It's me and Sid and everybody in the chat. We're all here. And hopefully we can all learn. No, not hopefully. We will all learn something from each other today. I'm learning from you all in the chat, and I'm trying to keep up. Oh, yes, She's So Wells. Yeah, I remember seeing you from She's So Wells crew. Thank you for coming, Mama Nurse. I'm doing well.
Yes, hello, everybody who is now here.
Yes, hello, everybody. And Rashonda says, yes, you have to pour into yourself and your children. Absolutely right. You have to pour into yourself, because if you do not, who will? I always say to people, if you're a parent, you are your child's best advocate. You are your child's best advocate, because who knows them the way you do except for God? Who knows them like you? Nobody. I've had to do that on so many occasions. I can't even tell you all. And I have no problem with advocating for my children. In fact, I'm always looking forward to the opportunity to jump in and to have their back. Why? Because I'm their mom, and I want the best for them. And I feel like nobody can say it the way that I can. Panama City says people with low self-esteem need to hear more than once before they can actually believe in themselves. That is true, Miss Lee. And thank you for sharing your thoughts, because that's something that we really need to talk. We really need to talk about that, because why do people feel like they need to hear it again and again and again and again? Is it, and I'm asking you all for help in the chat. Is it a me situation? Is it something that that person has to look within? For me, like I said, I was always told that. And sure, I second guessed it sometimes when people would always be in my ear. Oh, you're too skinny, or oh, what did they say about me? You have long hair, but you're not all that. And my whole thing was, I could care less. I think I said this in my other chat. I could care less about my long hair. In fact, I cut it off when I got old enough. My father didn't want me to cut it when I was in his house. But as soon as I turned 18 and got out the house, I chopped it off. Not because people criticized me because I had long hair, but because I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. I didn't need their validation. I didn't need them to say, you're cute because you have long hair, or whatever their twisted reasons were. I knew who I was, and I think I heard Tam Tam say this in the live stream, that maybe into her 20s she started developing, she started to really know who she was. I feel like that was the same thing that kind of hit for me. I knew when I was younger, but I kind of knew if that makes sense. I knew um, when I got older, as I experienced some things and as I saw the world with another set of eyes. Because for me, like I was in my parents' home, and I feel like they kept me covered. No, I don't feel like they did keep me covered. They kept me covered. They had my back. They, I grew up in a household. I went to church all the time, so I know about God, I know about Jesus. However, sometimes, when you're younger, that's why I address these things to the younger people. When they're saying things when you're younger, sometimes, you internalize it, and then it takes a little bit. You might have to have a come to Jesus meeting and say, wait a minute, why am I listening to this person? Why am I listening to that person? They don't know me. They didn't create me. They didn't create me. And I'm sorry, you guys, I'm going to get back so I can keep up with this chat. They didn't create me, so they have no idea who I am, what I've been through. I hear that a lot. A lot of people don't know your story and what you've been through, but they want to make comments. They want to,
Um,
I'm sorry, Sydney?
Hello,
Yes,
Angela Precious Wald.
oh, good. Go ahead, Sydney.
Hello, Angela Precious Wald.
Yes.
Who else?
Who else did you see come in? Patty's Southern Kitchen. You said that,
Mom.
didn't you, Sydney?
Yeah, Mama Nurse. Frank G. Shorts and News. Tay Eats. And Meet the Millers.
Thank
Denise
you.
Miller.
Thank you, co-host, for keeping me on point, because I'm sure not doing a good job of it. I'm sorry, you all. Sydney has it, though. Sydney has it. I like what always Tamsin said. You are speaking exactly as you should about a woman valuing herself. Very important. Great job. She is doing a great job, Nora. She's doing an awesome job. You're right. You
Thank
don't need
you.
validation. You're welcome. Self-worth. Yes. Patty's Southern Kitchen. That's what it's about. Self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have it? Do you value yourself enough to say if somebody is mistreating you? And we talked about friendship in one of my maybe a live that I did a few times ago. I don't know, maybe three previous lives ago. I don't know. You all know the one that had Black Mermaid and my sister Adrian Brody, and we were talking about friendships, and we were just kind of talking about our past, present relationships and things of that nature. And in the live, we got a little deep into friendship, but what I want to say is that no, you don't have to have validation from others. You don't have to have it. It's good sometimes if you are looking for a confirmation, and sometimes you may need it. You might be having a rough day, and you say, I'm not doing my best. I don't feel like I'm I'm reaching my fullest potential. And then somebody comes and says, "Hey, you did a great job today." Now, that's something that I just call a confirmation. And then it kind of helps you move along and to feel better about that particular situation. But I'm talking about people who always look for validation, people that always feel like somebody has to be in agreement with what you're doing, or somebody has to be in agreement with the way you look, or somebody has to always caress you and say, "Oh, you look wonderful, you look great." You have to get to a point in your life that you give yourself a pat on the back, and that
Mhm.
you agree with that, Sydney?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes, I
you
do.
have to. Yes, you're a smart girl. You're right. You don't need validation. You have to get to a point in your life where you say, you know what, this person, this person said that I'm ugly. This person said that I'm not smart. This person says that one of my foot is bigger than the other, whatever it is, because we all know that sometimes some people can be really mean, really judgmental, really just
Mhm.
nasty for no reason. So you have to look at that with what they're saying and realize that sometimes they're going through their own thing, and they're just retaliating. They're just saying something because misery loves company. How many of you have ever heard that? Misery
I was
loves
just about to say that.
Good for you, Sydney. Misery loves company, and they just want somebody to feel terrible because they're having a bad day, or they want somebody to feel terrible. Hi, Meet the Millers. How are you doing? And they
Hello.
want they want somebody else to feel terrible because they feel like they don't love themselves. That's just it in a nutshell. Oh,
Hello,
okay.
Frostbite and Juicing with Jay.
Yes, I'm a mama bear. Tell you a mama bear. I know I can see that. Great topic. Thank you, Miss Patty. I'm going to try to catch up, Sydney, because you're doing a great job for me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hi, Mama Nurse. I'm just going to pause for 1 second to catch up with you all. Everybody speaking. Frank G says hello to everybody. Everybody speaking. Rashonda, here we go. Okay, let me show you all Rashonda. Yes, if you're not careful, people will kill your dreams before it even begins.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People will kill your dreams before it even begins. And you know what? That's why everything is not for everybody to hear. Everything is not for everybody to hear. Sometimes, and I know I'm one of those that if I feel something, I go with it, but sometimes you have to just learn to close it, keep it silent, observe and watch. Observe and watch is the same, isn't it? But you have to observe people. Is this the person that I can tell this particular thing to? Can I trust that this person is going to have my best interest at heart when I tell them this? Can I trust that this person won't go and tell everybody down the street my business? Can I trust that this person won't go and make a phone call 10 seconds after I'm done telling them and tell whoever what we just discussed? Can I trust this? And you know what? A lot of times I had to learn that your dreams are precious to me. My dream when I started Geeky Girls Journal, I couldn't tell everybody about it. Unfortunately, I wanted to tell everybody, hey, I want to do this. What do you all think about this? What do you do? But I learned that my circle is very, 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 very tight. And my aunt said this. She was just joking around in the last one and said, you don't even have a circle, because she was quite accurate. Because what I learned is that you cannot tell everybody everything. And Rashonda said it clearly. You can't tell everybody everything. What I learned is that I have a few good people that I can tell anything. I can tell anything, and they will tell me the truth. They'll tell me if I'm wrong in whatever I'm doing. With my dreams, they said, do it. Whatever makes you happy, go for it. And they're my support system still to this day. And I'm going to go to the next time. Always tam tam. Exactly the same for me. Being shielded from the world made me wonder who I was, so I was uncomfortable. Yeah. Does
My
anybody?
my parents are doing the exact opposite. They are showing me what the world is like, the good things and the bad things, and I am learning a lot about everything.
That's great, especially at your age, Sydney, because you you're exposed to a lot of the things early, so you can make that decision with your parents' help to determine whether or not this is a good situation, this is a bad situation, or if it's in your best interest to deal with this group of people or this person or that group of people or that person. In my kids' case, I feel like I'm definitely a mama bear. I've shielded them from a lot. I've covered them. However, I do tell them, and I do also let them experience the things of this world, because I know they're not going to be in my house forever. Case in point, my daughter
Hi,
that, oh,
hi,
hey, Buddha.
Buddha of Destiny. Namaste. Sorry if
Hey,
I said
Buddha.
that one.
No, hey, Buddha. Oh, Buddha's cool. She's not cool. Sydney, you're doing awesome. You're doing awesome.
Thanks.
Hey, Buddha.
Sorry if I'm interrupting too much.
Okay. And no, you're not interrupting too much. I just need to make sure I'm keeping up with these comments.
Okay.
And I just lost somebody that I was trying to put up. Tam Tam to be myself. Okay. Frank G. Hi. Frank G. put up the thought. Frank, what are you thinking about? Share with me. What are your thoughts, Frank? Meet the Millers. Hi. Thank you. Great job. I see somebody new. Juicing with Jay. Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining us today. Hey, family. Yep, Juicing with Jay. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Nora says yes to that. To what I was saying. Hi, Jay. Frank G said true. He said everybody speaking. Nora says, I think you're right. Thank you, Nora. And always Tam Tam says, hey, Tay, hey, Grandma Patty. Okay, everybody's speaking. She's saying hi to everybody. Always Tam Tam is saying hi to everybody. Frank G saying hi. Okay, let me get to Miss Patty. That's what I saw at the corner of my eye. Miss Patty says, some people are cruel. Children learn from their parents or custodial parents.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. I agree with that, Miss Patty. And you know what? Okay. I was always taught as a child, and I said this again in another line. I was always taught as a child to treat people the way that I wanted to be treated. And I did that. I did it all the time. And I will say, because we know that some people are cruel, right? But we're gonna think about this treating people the way that they want to be treated. So in my mind, that was my thought process for a long time. Okay, I want to be treated this way. So this is how I'm going to treat others. That meant not speaking negatively to people, not talking about them, not saying, oh, you're ugly or whatever. Not saying anything that I thought would hurt that person's feelings. But what I soon came to learn was that not everybody was like me. Not everybody was taught the same way that I was. Not everybody had the same idea of how you should treat someone else. And I carried that, and I used to always, try to treat people with loving kindness. I still do. It hasn't changed. However, I'm very protected and guarded. I guard my heart and I'm watchful now. I watch the person that I'm speaking to. I watch their mannerisms. I watch how they interact with others. I treat them, I'm giving the same energy. I'm not going to speak nasty to somebody because they're speaking nasty to me. I still show respect. However, I will not be walked on. I will not be walked on. I teach my girls the same. Listen, be respectful, be kind to others. Don't allow others to walk on you because there is a difference. There is a difference. And you're right. I think all of that comes from a parent teaching a child, you know, how to interact with people on a daily basis, how to treat others, treat people with love and kindness, speak to people in love. Every word out your mouth doesn't have to be negative towards somebody. Every word out of your mouth shouldn't be it shouldn't be to belittle somebody else. It shouldn't be to make somebody else feel miserable just because you're having a crappy day. That's the way I'm going to say it. It shouldn't be that way, but we live in a world and that's how it is. So I'll meet the Millers. Thank you. You agree. Patty's Southern Kitchen. Oh, Tay Eats. Oh, Tay Eats. I'm sorry. You said that a long time ago. The link, I'll drop it again because Tay Eats, I couldn't, for some reason, I wasn't able to pull up the invite stream. I'm going to do it right now. And
I
Sydney,
dropped the link.
You did?
Yeah.
Did Sydney drop? Thank you, Sydney. Oh, my girl.
I'll drop it again.
You are awesome. I need you on here all the time. Look at you. Look at
Thank
you. I always observe things, Frank G says. You got to be observant. You have to be.
Hello, I am Betty J. Gathers.
Oh, Miss Betty is here too?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Miss Betty. Miss Betty, so we're talking about, the title is Who Are You? And I'm just talking about, being who you are, loving who you are, and not allowing people's words to change who you are, who you are and who you think you are. And I don't know, does that make sense, you guys? Who you think you are and who you are to yourself. You can't allow people to misconstrue things and belittle you and make you feel like you're less than what you are. Hey, Buddha. Yeah, I think Sydney said hey for me. Say hey for me. Okay. Tam. Oh, did we drop? Tay East, do you see the link? Did you see the link? I'm not sure. BGBD or no, BGBG. BGBG. Hi, how are you? You didn't see it, Tay? Okay, I'll try to do it again. Let me get it. Let me see. My lovely co-host, Sydney said she was going to drop it for me, so I'm going to drop it again, and hopefully this will work.
Coming onto the stream is probably the best thing that's happened today.
Is it? I'm
Definitely.
so glad to hear that, Sydney.
It is the light. Yeah, this is awesome.
Oh, you didn't see us there. It's awesome. I'm glad that you joined me. I really am. Like, this was a present. I didn't know what would happen today. I knew we would have an awesome live because when you all show up, it's always awesome. Let me just say that. Like, talking to you all really helps me into seeing things because sometimes you have a different perspective than I do. And that's why I love to have lives. I like to be able to talk to you all in real time. Sydney jumped up and she gave her perspective and she's still hanging out with me. So I'm so grateful for that, Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
There is Tay, you all. Hey, all respect. We're going to pull Tay in too because I want to hear what she has to say about this. Okay, I'm going to say everybody's speaking. Let me put Frank G and let me add Tay to the stream. No, don't ban Tay. I didn't say ban. What happened?
No,
Okay.
don't ban Tay.
Don't ban Tay. Hey, beautiful.
Hey, sis, what you doing?
How you doing? Girl,
Hello.
you look beautiful. Hey, beautiful. That's my
See the
girl. You look beautiful.
Is that the feedback?
I think so. I'm going out of it right now.
There's a bit of an echo.
There's an echo.
I think so. I'm going out of it right now. Okay, I went out of all my windows. I'm not sure. Is it still? Okay, there we go. All right, great. There we are. So we have Miss Sydney and we have Miss Tay.
This is
I'm glad to have you.
awesome.
It's awesome, isn't it? I didn't expect this, and I'm glad that I have it. I'm glad that you all jumped in with me.
I did not expect that I would be on a live stream anytime soon.
I know. Look at God, Sydney. So, Tay, what we're talking about, and I thank you for jumping right in because I know you have a life and things to do. So I really appreciate that. And I know you were coming in. So thank you for taking the time to come up with me. So what we're talking about, I made the title. I don't even remember what the title was, you all.
It's pop-up live and who are you?
Who are you? And I know when some people read that, they're like, who am I? Well, when I say
have an
who are you,
existential crisis when they read the title. They're like, who am I?
yes, who am I? That's the question because I mean that can go any way, couldn't it? So my whole thought process with that was, Tay, Unique Speaks, and I don't know if you heard this part, so I'll just recap for a little bit. Unique Speaks and always Tam Tam were doing a live last night. Tam Tam was last night, and they were talking about valuing yourself as a woman, and that just made me think about the live that I wanted to do today. It was just a thought. You know how sometimes you just have a thought and you're like, oh, I want to do it. Well, last week, Friday, I think the Educated Natural was talking about something that kind of, just hit me. And then I was, kind of just scrolling up and went into Eric B's live today and he said something else. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to procrastinate on this. I'm just going to jump. So that's what I did. So that's why the title is Who Are You? Because
Hey, hello, yeah. As Best Life. Can I mute myself really quick? I need to pee.
Frank said he didn't know what was going on at first when he came in. Oh, here we go, Miss Patty. And thank you, Sydney, for keeping up with the chat. Miss Patty says, I learned to keep my business away from others until they see it. Examples, purchasing a new home or automobile, moving to a new apartment. You don't need the negative vibes. That's something to talk about, Miss. You don't. And sometimes instead of people being happy for you, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they Sydney, hello. Sometimes they're not happy for you. Sometimes they would prefer to, see you fall. They don't want to see you do well. And that's the sad thing about it because you want people to be as excited about your journey as you are. And as I said, you can't tell everybody everything. So get yourself those two good people, that one good person, or talk to Jesus. Talk to Jesus because he won't fail you. And you just be cautious. I wrote myself a note. I was thinking about something, so I wrote it down real quickly. Like, be cautious of your speech. Be cautious of who you're telling things. Be cautious of your surroundings. Who you surround yourself with. That's what I mean by surroundings. Be cautious of who you surround yourself with because a lot of times, a lot of people just want you to join in their pity party. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to be happy. They don't want anybody around them happy. And if you're around that type of energy, sometimes it creates this effect where you have that load and you're carrying their load. You don't want that. You want to surround yourself with people that are lifting you up, people that are saying go for it, people that
Mhm.
are in support. They don't have to agree with everything you say. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is they need to show, be supportive. If you don't have that support and that person that's lifting you up and saying you can do it and you can do better for yourself, why are you even around them?
Mhm.
Why are you
Yeah.
around them? And say, would you like to say something? I see you shaking your head in agreement. Or
No, I'm just listening to you. I'm
oh,
listening
okay.
to you, but
Yeah. Sorry.
go ahead.
Um.
But go ahead, Sydney.
Um. I. Um. You should surround yourself with people who can. You don't have to depend on them to raise your spirits, but you should have people who can help your happiness ascend.
Do you all see what she just did there? She used that vocabulary word of the week.
Mhm.
Good
He
job.
said, mm-hmm.
I was
You
thinking about that the entire time I was going to the bathroom. I knew I
did,
was going
and
to
you
say that.
remember. See, you're better than me because sometimes my memory, Sydney, I think about something. It's a fleeting thought. I'm like, wait, what was I thinking about? And just
Hmm.
poof, be
That
gone.
that happens to everyone sometimes. Hello,
Oh,
crafty Leo.
Crafty
Hey,
Leo's
Crafty
here. Hey,
Leo.
Nice to see
Crafty
you.
Leo. Oh, she so wills have a safe road trip. Thank you for still listening, but
Hmm.
be safe while you're driving. If my voice is too much and annoys you, just please come back later and leave me a comment or
I
just
think
replay.
your
You
voice annoy
Oh,
anybody.
hello, ray of sunshine.
it may, you never know. Some people are like, I guess I just get on some people's nerves, but that's all right with me. I don't care.
I just think loving yourself, especially as a woman, is very, very, very important. And like you say, getting to know yourself is very important as well. Because believe it or not, a lot of people don't love themselves. They can't even sit with themselves. If some people was to actually sit with themselves and think of their thoughts and just soak in them, they couldn't do it. That's why a lot of people don't really know themselves and they're busy doing this and doing that and not really getting to know oneself. So I think it's important, especially if you're a single woman or even not single, just even married. It's still important to know yourself because then when someone can't tell you what you like, you tell them what you like, and you tell them your boundaries and this and that. So when you know yourself and you know your boundaries and you can lay out everything the way you want to, when someone tries to change your mind or manipulate you to do something that you don't necessarily want to do, you can speak up and say, "Well, no, no, that ain't me. No, I ain't doing
Yeah.
that." You
Hmm.
know, that's a lot
Oh,
of that's the way a lot of like people can influence you when you don't know who yourself is. A lot of people can
Yeah.
influence you and
And you
make you do
could.
certain things that you necessarily would never do.
And you can become someone who you never intended to become in the first place and forget who you truly are or were.
absolutely. I like the way both of you ladies said that.
Thank
Definitely,
you.
definitely take eats. You have to know yourself. You have to love yourself. You can't allow others to influence your decisions, your choices. And I think, like you said, sometimes, a lot of times that comes along with maturity. And have you all ever seen people and they're just, you look at them, you're like, that person is so confident. You're like, they just look like confidence oozes out of them.
And that
Hmm.
And
takes time. I
It's
wasn't
like every
always
YouTuber I
confident.
watch ever.
yeah, and I agree with you, Thais. At first, I used to be like, boy, that person, they're so confident. It just seems to me, and I'm not just saying in YouTube, I'm just talking about in life. You can see certain people just walking, they look like they're just, whatever you say, they like, oh, whatever. I, I'm me. I'm glad being me in this body or whatever it is, whatever the situation, I can do all things. And you're right. Before I thought that was a personality trait, but that's really that person has probably experienced some things more than likely and they've come into their own and it took some time. you know
Mm.
you you don't always,
Hmm.
but you're not born like, oh, I'm and exuding confidence.
No,
That takes
my parents never told me about being confident. You know,
No, mine either. Mine were more so they just, I was saying earlier to my father, my mom too, but I guess I'm just thinking about my father because it's a different relationship when a father and a daughter than a mom and a daughter. And my dad would always say, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. Don't let people say things about you. Don't let people mistreat you. Speak up for yourself. Um,
Yeah.
Mhm.
don't let people walk over. The things that dad say, kick them in the mouth, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I grew up, like that, but at the same times, I will question certain things about myself. Like, I wonder if I could do this better, or if I could look that way, or if my hair was like this. And then what I noticed over time, especially when I got in my 20s, when I really started thinking about who I was and why I was created, and I started saying to myself, I am special. God created me. And again, I never really had low self-esteem, but I'm just saying I was really coming into my own at this point and saying, I don't care what anybody else says about me. Look at me how you want, say what you want to say. This curly hair is for me. This hair that gets tangled is for
Mm-hmm.
me. This hair that I don't feel like washing and conditioning and all that stuff. And I didn't forget about you, Tay, with that video. I still got it. It's over there. All of those things, my eyes, yes, they're big, but they're mine.
Mhm.
Um, my nose,
Hello, Derek's Journey.
she's like everything that
Sorry,
you
Hey,
can.
Derek's Journey.
sorry, sorry,
Oh, that's okay. What
sorry.
did you say, Sid?
She
Uh,
said, "Hey, Derek's Journey."
yeah.
Oh, hey, Derek's Journey. Oh, let me. I'm sorry, you guys. Well, hey, still here listening? About to get on. Oh, I got that part. Buddha says hi. Miss Patty says, I was taught to never make fun of others, no matter their situation, disability, or appearance. Yeah, and unfortunately, not everybody, subscribes to that same thing, Miss Patty. But I was taught the same. How about you, Tay?
What? What Miss Patty said?
Yeah, did you see what she said? She was taught never to make fun of others. I can put it back up, no
Oh
matter what their
yeah,
situation.
other situation. Yeah, because at the end of the day, eventually, if it's a situation, you could end up in that situation. So it's so funny because I mean, I've talked about people. Oh, I could never. When you're younger, I could never do. I could never. And then it's just so funny that years go by, you actually end up in that situation.
Yes,
Don't always say
absolutely.
you can never because yeah, people go through certain things in life, and so it's their journey.
Absolutely.
It
Oh,
is
absolutely.
scratching Pete P. A. He
Oh,
is
Miss Betty.
everywhere.
Yes, Scratch and Pete is everywhere. Hey, Miss Betty, I'm sorry I missed you. I see you. Hello, everybody. Miss Betty saying hello to everybody. And Sydney's everybody speaking. I thought here's I'm just going through. Everybody's saying hi. Miss Betty said, "Look at my baby girl telling it, y'all." Oh, thank you, Miss Betty. If you're still in here,
Thank you.
she's so well says and stopped again as I'm getting gas. I'm a busy mama, always on the go, but always showing love to my fellow creators. Yes, busy. Yep, mom
Mhm.
extraordinary. If anybody knows, she's so wells. She talks to the ladies and encourages women as well. And I believe anybody else. Okay, so Tay, somebody, Miss Betty saying hi to you.
Oh, hey, Miss Betty.
Everybody speaking. You're right. We shall celebrate others. Okay. Miss Patty says we should be celebrating others. I agree. Ray of Sunshine says,
Mhm.
hey there, everyone. And God won't tell your business. God won't tell all your business unless necessary for your survival. Absolutely. See, I'm just getting a Crafty Leo, and I think you said her name like 10 minutes ago, didn't you? Okay. Hey, Crafty. Let me go through Tay. If you see something that stands out, let me know. Wait, what? The vocabulary week, yay. Say this smart girl. Sorry, you all. I don't want to miss. Lovely chat for today. Glad to meet everyone here. Okay, so yeah, Tay. I don't know. I saw somebody also earlier in a comment section saying that they didn't love themselves and they had taken some extreme yards. And you know what? You all are gonna think this is funny, but this shows you how kind of out of touch I am with certain things. Is it called a BBL or B?
A BBL,
Is it
a
called a BBL?
Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, my sister-in-law said something about that like a couple days ago, and I was like, "What is that?" And
Yeah,
she
what
said,
is it?
"I had Sydney. I'm like
Like,
you. I had no idea what it was, but I've been hearing it. Like today, I heard a lot about a BBL, so I was like, okay. So what a
Basically
BBL
a
is?
new butt.
Oh, go ahead, Tay.
I just said basically a new butt.
A new butt. So a new
hmm.
butt, a new like people get it sucked out, and I say to each its own. If that's what makes you feel good, if you want to do it, you go for it. Because I'm definitely not here to judge, um,
Hmm.
and I don't have the perfect body by far. But what I will say
No one
is,
does.
no one does, and you have to. I still say, if you do that, you still have to love yourself. You still have to, be okay with who you are, love who you are, because when you get that done, you get, say you get the BBL, the Brazilian butt lift, the stuff
It's gonna
sucked
be
out of your
something
tummy.
else.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's gonna be something else. You're always gonna look at something and nitpick and say, "Oh, these lines here," or my face sinks in right here. Oh, do you want to inject something there? No, you have to start with loving who you are, being accepting of who
Hello,
you
the
are.
Bud Files.
Oh, hello,
Hey,
Bud
book
Fowl.
files.
Hello, everybody. Derek's Journey. Crafty Leo, how are you feeling? Because I know you're going through some things. Oh, here's Derek's Journey. Crafty Leo, I hope you're feeling well today. I hope you're feeling well, and I hope you're getting enough rest today. Derek's Journey said, "My father and I did not have a very good past, but it definitely helps me push harder today."
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think as one thing, when you become an adult, you realize that your parents didn't have a booklet of how to be a parent. And especially when you have your kids or your child or whatever, then you realize, okay, you understand that they did the best that they could, or what they knew, or what they were taught, you know? So you
Yes,
can't fault them at all. All you can do is look back on it and say, okay, well, with my children, I'm going to do this
I
go around.
was,
You
I
know,
was just about to say
change
that
the
too.
generation curse, your family. You know,
yep. Say you said it. You said it.
Mhm.
Man, if I could get $1 for every time I told a new parent that, um, I say it all the time because I'm a mother of five, and I said, you know what?
You,
When I was
you'd be a billionaire if you
I would
got
be a
money every year.
billionaire. I would, because when I was growing up, I would look, and that's another thing. When you become a parent, like Tay said, you don't have a manual. Well, actually, a lot of people write books about how you should parent and how you should do this, how you should do that. What
Hmm.
I found is it's a lot of people that write the books. Some people that
they
write the
don't
books,
have kids, right?
they don't have kids, and they're the
Uh-huh.
ones trying to tell you how to raise your child.
Don't listen to
That-
people if they're trying to tell you how to raise your child, but they
You,
don't have kids themselves,
they don't have kids
because then
themselves.
they don't have experience and
They
like
don't have experience.
won't
And the
help.
other thing is, every person is different. Every child is different. You have to look at that child's personality and figure out how to reach that individual. I have 5 girls over here, and they're all different.
Different,
Every
yeah.
last one of them.
That
Hmm.
was
You, I
one of
can,
the best things you said. Is all your kids are different. Every
all
child
of
is
them.
different. You can't treat one child the same as the other.
You can't treat one the same
Hmm.
as the other. And then sometimes they'll say, "Mom, you did such and such for this person, you did that for me." But you can't look at it that way because you require something different. I have to talk to one a different way than I talk to the other one. One of them I might have to be a little bit more stern with. I might have to, get right in your face and say, "Hey, get it together." The other one, I might be able to speak in a softer tone.
Hmm.
It's like that in life in general. Like personalities, you have to look at them.
Co-workers, your
Co-workers.
manager, yeah,
I don't
co-workers.
have those anymore. Thank you, Jesus. But you are
I
right.
want your life.
Not every You are so right. Not every person is the same. And even when I became a new mom, I'll say, for example, because Tay, you brought up the thing about not having a book and a manual. And you do learn that as a parent, that even if you read the book, I can't tell you all how many books I read just to try to prepare myself before I became a mom, because I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm the type of person that I'd much rather know going into something than trying to find out along the way. I want to know as much as I can before I get into that situation, good, bad, ugly.
Hmm.
I told people, tell me your bad birth stories. I want to hear it all. But I
Hmm.
won't say about, something happening on the table because Sydney's ears might be a little too young, but I asked all the questions. I said, do not spare me details. You won't scare me. You won't frighten me out of it. It's going to happen. It's got to happen, because how else is it going to happen? I can't just say, oh, take it back. So I
Hmm.
Right.
want to
I ask
prepare.
questions about everything I'm interested about ever. So
Ask
yeah.
questions. Ask questions, and ask questions until you're satisfied with the answers. That's what I say. To me, I used to teach, and I used to tell the kids, no question's a dumb question. Ask. If it's on your heart to ask me, I will tell you. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to try to figure it out. But the thing I was saying about parenting is, you had those same people, the experts, telling you how to parent, but you have to figure it out. It's one of those things that when you jump into it, you figure it out. When my parents were parenting me and rearing me, I know we say raise, but it's rearing. When they were rearing me, I would say, think about some things. And I didn't realize what they were doing until I had my own kids. Then I'm like, oh, I see why they did that. I see why this happened. I see why that happened. Now, as an adult, I tweaked some things. I said, okay, I'm going to do it this way in my house, or I won't do it that way, or I may implement this, I won't implement that. And again, it just goes along with personalities, as Tay was saying. So you have to look at that, and you have to think about, when you're.
It's just like you got 5 kids. Start from your very first one to the last one. Your parenting was different, right? Through the first to
Absolutely.
the fifth, right? The first one is like you so careful, you kind of strict on everything. No, don't do this. No, don't touch that. And as time go on, you get kind of lenient with each child. You know what I'm saying? So that's how
It's
it
true.
is.
It's true. And also, like you said, with that first, I tell my first all the time, and she's like, "Mom, you always said." I'm like, "You, unfortunately, you were my guinea pig." And I don't want to use the term guinea pig, but
Yeah,
you all know what I'm saying when I say that.
they are kind of your guinea pig, the first
Yeah,
one.
that's your first. You've never done that before, and you're just trying different things to see what works. You're trying to figure out what's, what's the best situation, how to
Mm-hmm.
do it, how to get things done. For her, I don't want her to touch anything. Like you said, I'm already like really funny about germs and touching things and sanitize and clean. And I'm like that with like all my kids, but I did let up with the fourth and fifth. It was just like, okay, you getting dirty today. I'm washing
It
your
is
clothes
what it
anyway.
is.
Yeah, I'm washing your clothes anyway. When you come in the house, go ahead, jump in the dirt. I
Mm-hmm.
go ahead, have
You
fun being
give
cute.
up, right?
I give up.
My
Have fun with me.
And I bet you
my
the first one
dad.
was kind of like,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sydney.
My dad built a, well, not built, but we were going to make a garden this year, and he dug up a dirt pile, and we didn't make the garden. It's all overgrown now, but like Alex and I used to play in the dirt like all the time. Mom and Dad wouldn't care. We
Oh,
would wash our hands and stuff, but yeah.
so they allowed you to explore.
Mhm.
Yeah, I started doing that a little bit later with probably around my third child. I was like, okay, you know what? They they're
go
kids. They're going to
ahead.
get dirty.
Yeah.
I made mud pies when I was a kid.
Mhm.
So I have had this conversation with my brother one time. He was like, "Didn't you used to play in the dirt?" Yeah, I did. I made mud pies. I squashed bugs. I did all types of things. So I was like, let me let
Mhm.
my kids be kids for a minute. Can anybody else relate over there in the chat? Did you do that? So in the meantime, Derek's journey said the story is a little too long to say, but all I can say is don't let grudges get in the way. The story's on my YouTube channel. Okay, I
Of
need to check
course.
that out, Derek.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, you can.
What is it that some of you guys
Yeah.
do to love yourself?
Turn the computer on.
Is
Let
that
me mute.
somebody else?
Yeah, I'll mute it.
Uh,
Okay. Okay, there we are.
so I would just wanted to ask, and the people in the chat, what is there something to do that you do to love yourself?
Good question. All right, people in the chat, you heard it from Miss Tay herself. What do you do to love yourself? I want to hear the answer to that question, and I'm waiting. In the
What do you
meantime,
do,
what do I
Geeky
do?
Girl? Mm-hmm.
See, that's the problem. So, what do I do? We're talking about self care, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you all, honestly, that
Because
is
it's
so.
hard for us as women because we don't sometimes tend to, we got kids, we got a husband, we got just everything going on. And as women, we tend to put all of that on the back burner. Believe it or not, we are super women. Like we are superheroes for real because the simple fact that we do everything. And I don't think men understand it until you actually become a woman, because it's we put ourselves in the back burner before anybody and everybody else. I don't know about you, but I've done it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tay, I was trying to put you on the big screen by yourself because you asked me the question and it answered exactly the way I would have.
Oh,
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I talk too much.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That was
I talk
awesome.
too much.
You do not talk too much. That's why I'm glad you're up here. I mean, I talk a lot too, but you literally just said exactly what I would say. Exactly. And that, I mean, I don't have to say it again, do I? That's why my self-care is not the best. I was going to say sucks, but it's not the best. I've told myself time and time again to get better and work on it and, think about yourself. And I remember when I first started having kids and I got married, my mom said to me one day, "You're going to learn how to be selfish." And then I didn't understand what she said. I was like, Mom, no, I can't. I got to do this. I got to do that. Da, 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 da. You know, just a whole list of things as you talked about. And she said, you're going to have to learn to give yourself some time and be selfish. I was like, but I can't do that. Again, later on, I understood what she meant. Selfish in the sense that I had to have some self-care. You know, I've even gotten to the point where some things that like making something as simple as a doctor's appointment that I know I need to make, but I'm so busy arranging other people's things, trying to get them to here, there, everywhere. And having a spouse, that's a whole nother thing. Like you have a spouse and you got the kids. It is consuming. You know, I am appreciative of the space that I'm in, and I thank God for them being in my life. However, it can be overwhelming. It can be a lot. And like you said, you know, self-care, I hear this, I especially started hearing that theme during COVID, you know, taking care of yourself, even if it's something as simple as washing your hair or going to get your hair.
Because that's little tasks that needs to be done, but it's hard when you got kids, a wife, you know, wife or husband, you know, it's hard. Check the chat out because Frank said he prays.
Where's Frank? Okay, he's all the way down there, isn't he? Yep. Let me see. Oh,
Frank
let me
said he pray, and then Crafty Leo, she said something as well.
I'm gonna go down and go back up since you did. Oh, Frank says he's. Where's Frank's comment?
He say prayer.
Okay, I'm gonna
go with you. To love himself, which is that. I think that's a good.
Oh, there we are.
That's a good one.
That's a very good one. Derek's Journey said nothing. I don't know if he was answering that question, but
because his wife do everything.
Because your wife does everything, Derek.
Men, one thing about men I can't say is men can say no. Men can say and women, it's hard for us to say no. We take on every single responsibility, everything we can, till we just break down and cry one day, and they looking at us like, "What is wrong?
What's wrong with you? Right? What's wrong with you?" Now, you are right. My husband, he can come in and he like, if he said I'm gonna take a nap, oh, he's gonna take a nap. Yeah, if he's working, he was outside the house. But me, I'm like, I'm so tired. I could have had 2 hours of sleep, but I'm not taking a nap because I'm thinking about everybody else's everything. Like, oh, I got to do this still. I got to do that. And I won't lay down and take a nap.
I got to do laundry. I got to clean up. I got to put the kids' clothes together. You know, whatever. You got to do this. Men go do what they want to do. Okay?
Yes, they are. Ray of Sunshine says, sun brightens my mood. If no sun, talk with my kids because they are almost at age to exit my home. That makes a difference. You brought up a very good
important. Yes.
That building memories is important at this stage. It is important. And Ray of Sunshine, I'm going to have to agree with you on that because I was telling you about my eldest daughter that just went away. We took her to UPenn a couple days ago, and I've noticed just a huge difference in her just this last year, the last year and a half. And I had a conversation. I think I've talked to her more since she's been away to college than I had in like the past couple days before we left, like just talking to her, making sure she's okay. And, you know, just that's another topic in itself because I was a parent that's like, you know, I love my kids, but I want them to experience life. I want them to get out. I know they can't be here forever. And then when I dropped her off, I was doing so well until like the last 15 minutes and it hit and I was crying. Everybody was crying. I don't think all of us were crying. And I was just like trying to hold it together and her, like people were coming past. I'm trying to put her head down because I didn't want people to see her. You know, I'm covering her. I was like, okay, listen. We can do this. You have, and you know that talk you give, it's the true talk. But it was to reassure her, I'm like, you've prepared for this moment. You've done everything to get to this point. If you weren't supposed to be here, you wouldn't be here. You know, you're covered. God's got you. You know, I was just everything. And I'm crying as I'm talking to her. And my eyes are red because as soon as one tear comes on my eyes, you guys, my eyes are red and my nose is red.
It's just flowing out.
It was it. And people who came past, I'm just like, you know, I'm having this moment with my daughter. And I just felt at that moment, I had to do it. I had to give it to her because I could see that she almost looked shattered like, Mom, you're really just going to leave me and roll out. I was like, I have to do it. I love you. You're going to be okay. You know, you can do it. You know, and she's going into a really intense program. She's been having all these meetings and all this stuff. And I'm just like, you know, we got to know that everything that you've been through to this point has prepared you for this moment and beyond. And, you know, she's doing much. She's getting better and better. But I said that to say that the conversations were definitely different. You know, they were different because it looked like she was just taking everything in. She was more in tune. It wasn't like you're saying something like, yeah, but, you know, it wasn't that. It was just, if we're talking about a straight face,
she was giving me a straight face the whole time, just like, you know, that face when you're listening and you're absorbing information. That was her. So
That's good.
ray of sunshine, definitely. You know, I think.
Vacation too.
Oh yes, what did you say, Tay?
A vacation, just like a ray of sunshine of going on a vacation, taking care of
Yeah,
yourself, you know. So we need a break sometimes, you know.
yeah, absolutely. Crafty Leo says, I think I just naturally love myself. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with life, but that doesn't make me love myself any less. Nope. Still gotta love
But that's
yourself.
good. Not a
That's
lot of people is like that. I know I wasn't like that.
Yeah, not a lot of people is. Miss Key says, I speak positively to myself. I give myself a pat on the back. Yep. That's what I say. Sometimes
Affirmations.
yeah, you just have to tell yourself, I can do this. I tell myself that all the time. Oh, you got it. You can do it. Sunshine to Sunset says, I do self-reflection important to myself. Sometimes you have to be selfish. Yeah. Now I tell you all, I'm good at talking to myself and, saying all those positive things and saying, hey, you can do this, Andre. You got it. Get up. Get up. Like, don't sit in this place long. I've never been that person. I want to always try to move forward. And if I find myself kind of in a rut, I'm pretty good at saying, hey, snap out of it. This is your moment. You need to get up. You need to get moving. You need to do whatever. But I do say I lack in self-care. I definitely lack in self-care. I hair, please. We won't even talk about that. Beautician. I mean, that Tay, I think you talked about this, going to beauty salon when you were younger and just being there for hours and hours. Like, that was the reason at first why I stopped going. Like, I don't want to be there for hours and hours. Then it just became a routine and a habit for me, not going, not taking the time to let somebody just wash my hair, give me a good massage. And you ladies know how that feels when somebody else is washing your hair. That feeling is just, and you not having to deal with that. And getting my feet done, just whatever, anything, just a little simple gesture. Or for me, it was, you asked me earlier, Tay, how I take self-care. For me right now, it's if I can just be like right now, my family left, and just to give me that time by myself for a minute. I love my family. God knows I do. But sometimes I just need that time, that moment, just sit in the house by myself where it's quiet. And then when they come back, I'm a much better person. I'm a whole new person. Like, oh, hey, how you doing? Y'all, everybody have a good time? Oh, great. And the sad part about that is, Tay, they were asking me, Mommy, are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming? And I was like, yeah, maybe I should come. Maybe I should come with you guys. Hold up, tell your daddy, wait, I'm coming. Then I was like, wait a minute. I need to stay here. I need to take this moment by myself, reflect, have some me time, because I rarely get it. And my daughter even said, Mom, just stay here. You're not missing nothing. You're not missing anything. We'll be back. And I was like, you're right. Let me do it. So even if you had to just take a moment, 10, 20 minutes by yourself, that's helpful. I found that to be helpful. I like Frank G. I pray as well. I talk to God when I get overwhelmed. I talk to God. If I have you all met my dream, my team. That was my sister and my aunt. If I get in a rut and I'm like, I just want to talk to somebody right now, and I feel like God's not answering, I go to them. I think, did I mute you, Tay? I did. Did I mute you or you muted?
I'm sorry. They're amazing. Where are they at?
Yeah. So I'm gonna have them back on real soon. My sister, I actually called her right before I did it, and she was like, "Oh, I want to come." But her in-laws have an anniversary party or something today, so she couldn't attend. She's like, "I'm gonna go back and watch the replay." I was like, "That's okay.
You're so beautiful."
Yeah, and that is definitely like, I know why God made us sisters. I'll just put it that way. Like, he really, when he put her in my life, he knew exactly what he was doing, as he always does. But she's there always, no matter what I'm going through. And if you all have somebody like that, don't be afraid to talk to them. I mean, I can tell her anything that's happening in my life, and she is there to support me. She's
That's
gonna tell me.
amazing, because everybody don't have that relationship like with their sister, they siblings. So that's amazing that you do have that.
Yeah, it's a blessing, definitely. And I mean, I have some people in my family that are siblings, and it's like water roses. And so I appreciate it. Every day it's a blessing just to be able to say, if I'm going through something, my husband, I'm trying to talk to him and he doesn't get it, or my kids, I can always, we're in the same situation. She has kids, she has a husband, we're both women. So it's not, we come from the same family. So we have the same morals, values, and she's going to tell me. Yeah, she's gonna tell me, "Oh, you okay? You're right for feeling that way," or maybe try a different approach.
She call you out? Do she say you wrong too?
Oh yeah. Just like I do the same for her. She's not gonna let me slide on things, and I appreciate that. So for people who have people like that in their lives, appreciate it. And that's also probably why I don't have to have friends. You know how some people don't have siblings and some people don't have, relationships with family members like that. So they have friends that kind of take that role. And I guess that's part of the reason why I've never really had to have that, because
That's good.
I've always had a built-in friend. So you make time for yourself, Miss Key. That's great. And Frank G is speaking.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna turn my AC down.
Okay, take your time. Hello, hosts. Hi, Mama Handprint. Always Tam Tam says, look in the mirror naked. No, seriously. Now, always Tam Tam, that is something I did hear you and Unique talking about that, but I've never. Wait, I don't want to say never, because guess what? I have not like intentionally just stripped everything off and like just looked at my body and looked and looked and looked and looked at all the lumps and bumps or whatever. But I do take a shower. I do take a shower and I see myself. And you know how some people look at themselves and they're not satisfied, they're not happy. I don't have that issue. I look at myself and I'm like, okay, I might have a little roll right here, but that's okay. If I want to change it, I will change it. For me, I've had multiple pregnancies. You all know I had 5 kids, but I've actually been pregnant 10 times. I've actually had 10 pregnancies, and this was a story that I was going to wait until like that time of year where they talk about.
What?
I've actually been pregnant 10 times, and with each of my pregnancies, I gained 80 pounds, and at the least 50 maybe.
You have pregnancy issues or what?
Yeah, well, what happened was after I had my third, and I know this kind of changed, but I'm only telling you all this story because somebody may hear this and may be able to relate and may say, okay, if she went through it, I can go through it. So hopefully I'm, not just talking about myself, but I'm helping somebody else. So Tam Tam made me think about this when she made the comment about the mirror. So after I had my third, I got pregnant twice. Well, the first one I had, it would have been my 4th pregnancy, was a miscarriage. I didn't even know that that's what was happening because my first 3, I had no issues with them. I was big, I was healthy, no issues whatsoever. So when it came to my 4th pregnancy, and I saw, I don't know how graphic I can be here. So I would just say that I saw a couple signs and they concerned me. So I called my doctor and they were like, the nurse was like, oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're okay, because they knew my history.
How many months were you?
I was at that point 8 weeks. I was 8 weeks. So still pretty early on. And I wish I should have the paper so I can tell you all exactly, like every week, every month for every pregnancy that I'm about to tell you about. But I saw some signs and I called and they were just like trying to reassure me that everything was okay. And, don't worry about this. And they also told me stay off the internet, because the first thing you do when you get, when you want to know what happens is ask questions. I ask questions. I ask a lot of questions to my provider, the nurses, and I also Google. And I kept telling them something's not right. This doesn't feel like the rest of the pregnancies. And I know something's not right with me. And just like nothing, I was at my in-laws' house and I was visiting out of state. And just like that next day I was telling my husband, I'm like, something's not right. And I started getting like these really, really bad cramps. And at that moment, I knew something was about to happen. And my husband said, hey, let's go back. Let's go home so you can get back and get the care you need. And we got on the road. And as soon as I got back, I had already started the process. I just didn't know that that's what it was. But I miscarried the next day. And I was, I don't know. I think at that moment, because it was something new, a loss is a loss. And I didn't know how to process it. I guess that's what I'm thinking. I didn't know how to really process it because it was with my first 3, I was like, okay, I didn't have these issues. I was fine. They keep telling me I'm fine, but then this happens. So that happened. Let me just tell you all, that was the first one. I had the second one a few months after, because I got pregnant like back to back within a 6-month period. I lost both same time, 8 weeks, lost both. Now my third, we're talking about, this is the third miscarriage I had years later. I had made it all the way up until the day before I was supposed to have my gender appointment. When you go and they tell you the anatomy for moms here, I know, and dads, and they're supposed to tell you the anatomy of the baby.
It was almost like at 5 months, right?
Yes.
Wow.
And I remember this day, just I was having just cramps, really, really bad cramps. Sorry if this is too explicit for some of you, but I feel like I probably need to tell this part of it. And I was having it and having it, and I kept talking to God. I was like, if this is what I think it is, do what you have to do. Do what you got to do, whatever that may be. I don't want to stand in the way. And the whole time I was having cramps, and my kids were running around the house and ready to go out to a playground because this is the 4th of July. And we were supposed to take them out to see fireworks and all that stuff. And I was just, I had been having these pains all day. And I was like, okay, this feels similar. It felt similar, but different than the first two because I was further along probably. And I was just, having these deep pains. And I went in the bathroom, and all I will say is that I had to deliver my own child. I had to deliver. And yeah, I had to deliver it. And this whole time, you all, my kids were still, they had no idea. They were running around the house. And my husband was knocking on the door. You okay? You okay? And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not. But I was holding this life in my hand. I know I'm looking at your face, Tay. Yeah, I was holding this life in my hand. And
That's crazy. I don't know if I could ever, I don't know if but the fact that you're sharing this story, you should do it like in a separate video. There are women out there who has experienced or are experiencing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That need some help.
Absolutely. And, I'm not one of those, I'm not afraid to share. If my story involves another person, then I try to be cautious about that person's feelings. And, sometimes that person who's in the situation may not want it out. But if it's just about me, I have no issue telling everybody, what I've gone through, because my theory is, like you said, if I've gone through it and I can help somebody else, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, to, answer to share my story, my testimony, because that's what it was, and I was sitting here with the child. I still had to go to the hospital and get, what's it called? DNC. So they still had to do that. It was very tough, like the process they had to go through because of the way that I delivered. But just holding this, life or previous life in my hand and looking at it, and I tell you all, one tear just came down my eye, and then I was like, Lord, if it was in your will, I said, whatever it was, if it was meant to be, and it was, obviously, I said, however you need to handle this, and just heal me. And what I realized when I was going through that moment was, this is my journey. This is something that, like you said, say after, because you go through a couple different feelings. And again, this is a whole nother video, so I'll stop talking about it, but I just wanted to kind of briefly go over it so that if anybody had a question, leave me a comment.
Crafty Leo say a friend of mine did the same thing, but she delivered while she was in the shower at 5 months. Wow.
Oh, wow. See, so you know what? I tell you all what, I knew who I was in that moment. I knew that I was covered. I knew that the emotions that I was feeling was temporary and wouldn't last long. And when I say temporary, I'm saying, my recovery time was, I had already had those first two. And so this third was different in the sense that I actually saw it, and I was just looking, and I'm like, wow, So for people who say that at this certain point it's not a life, you're wrong. You're wrong. I've never been one of those to say that. I've always thought from conception of birth, but my opinion is my opinion. Other people have their opinion. I don't knock anybody for feeling the way that they feel, but I'm telling you, when I was looking at my hand and I saw what I needed to see, it was a confirmation. I knew it, but seeing it was something completely different. And I felt like I saw a smile, and I was like, okay, it's going to be all right.
And how many months was this one?
This was for 4 months. Was I going into my fifth?
Okay, yeah, because that's actual. Okay, yeah, that's more than just an embryo right there.
That's more than just that. You see, I saw,
a fetus or whatever they call it. Yeah,
I saw a fetus. I saw really small limbs. I saw, everything I needed to see, and it definitely puts things into perspective. I had to pull myself together to get back out. In my mind, this is what I'm saying. Always being a strong Andrea, saying, get it together. Your kids are out the door. They're outside this bathroom door. And they were still knocking on the door throughout this whole time. Mommy, come on, we're ready to go. And I said, all right, get it together. Go out there. They didn't know what was happening. I carried on as if, when I spoke to them when I first came out, I said, everything's all right. Mom's fine. I just told my husband, I got to go to he knew already. He was already making preparations for me to go to the hospital. So that happened. But again, I won't take this up. I won't take up anybody's time talking about this. I'll do it on another panel or another live because there may be separate questions for me and I don't mind. And again, after that third, I had two more. So
this might be off topic and
yeah.
you might not want to answer this. So I don't know, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
How do you feel about as far as though like them trying to control the pregnancy situation?
You're talking about the abortion. Like yeah. So this is my opinion with that. I believe that every woman has the ability to make their own decision. I have my views toward that. And again, I never say never, but what I say is for me, I would not have one, but I don't stop any. And I'm saying this under different circumstances because in some cases, like it's a health risk to women. And sometimes you have to have it done. In fact, when I had my miscarriages, they called it spontaneous abortion. And I was like, wait a minute, spontaneous abortion? What's that mean? I miscarried. I didn't have an abortion. So I had to ask some questions. But to answer your question, Tay, I think that women make their own decisions. Does this mean that I'm not a God-fearing woman? No. This means that I think that each person has the ability to make the best choice for their life and their situation. So I would
basically be pro-choice because I'm pro-choice too. I just feel as though I feel like a lot of these males in office need to stop talking as far as what we should do as women, trying to write certain laws out and things like that. I'm just not with that because like you say, being pregnant, you can die on the deathbed delivering a baby.
You absolutely can. And I say, we leave that up to, I tell people, that's between that person and the God they serve. I am not here to determine what you do in your life. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to play God. I'm definitely not here to be your Holy Ghost. So if you feel in your soul of souls that that's what you want to do, that's your choice. I have nothing to do with that. Now, if somebody asks me what my choice is, I'm looking at the situation. I'm looking at what works best for me and my household. And I'll say this, I would never want somebody to try to tell me what I'm supposed to do with my body. And you're right, a lot of people do. They come in and say women should do this or do that. And I've seen some kind of wacky rules. I want to go back and look at laws that I didn't even know existed. And I can't even think of one now, but some of them I thought was a little outlandish. I'm like,
okay, you see what Crafty Leo say? Yeah, facts. She said pro-choice, but myself, I would never do it without medical reasons. Yes. How can a man make a decision in something they can never experience? Exactly. That's why I be, how can these men go in office and make decisions regarding a woman's body,
Yes. That's where I stand with that.
I just don't think that's cool.
Yeah. You have no idea of what a woman faces. Just like we don't know what men, I don't know anything about a man's body. I'm not a man. I don't claim to be, don't want to be. I'm happy with who I am and who God created me to be, but I'm not going to tell a man you need to do blah, 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 blah. That's your business. And so I agree with you. A woman's choice is a woman's choice. I agree wholeheartedly with Crafty Leo. For me, that's not something that I choose to do. I mean, I suffered some losses. And I could have easily been like, oh, no, I don't want that. But I felt in all my cases, even though some of them I didn't end up having a living child with me. I don't have them right now because I have 5 and 5, even like 5. And I have angel babies, 2 angel babies. But I felt like in each situation, if that was for me, if I got pregnant, it was meant for me to get pregnant. If I had the baby, it was meant for me to have the baby. If I didn't, there was a reason why I was not supposed to have it. So yes, in that moment, I was sad. And also wondering, what happened? How did this happen? That's quite natural, but never did I say, this wasn't meant for me. I take it. It was meant for me. Otherwise, it would have passed me. So Yeah, no, I don't agree with that, with people making decisions for other people. I'm not going to do that. That is that person's life. That's their choice. They deal with the consequences of their decision, just like I deal with the consequences of whatever my decisions are. So, yep. Any more questions? Anybody?
Oh, sorry to hear that, Leo.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that too.
That's
Yeah.
like basically when the baby is on top of the tube or what, or like the ovary or something, I think, right?
And I think those they had, if I'm not mistaken, they have to be removed in situations. Is that right, Leo? Yeah, the ectopic pregnancy. Okay, that's what Leo said. Facts, Tay, pro-choice. Okay, we got that. All right, did I miss anybody's comment? Seven's Wrath. Hey, Professor, how you doing? This, Rashonda, did you see? You probably saw this one, Tay. This so informative. My daughter lost her daughter a few hours after delivery. This really hit home. I'm
I
sorry to hear.
didn't see that. I'm sorry to hear that, Rashonda.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for people in the chat on this live who this conversation went another way, but it's something that needed to happen. Obviously, thanks Tay for stirring.
Sorry.
No, thank you for stirring it up. Let me tell you what my expectations were for this live. I had no expectations for this live, you guys. I really didn't. Like, I had a topic. I'm like, hey, this is a just in case. I wanted to start it out by saying that, but when it takes a different path, it needs to be said, in my opinion, and I'm quite all right with that. In fact, I'm glad that you, Rashonda, Crafty Leo, and other women, whomever I missed, you're willing to share your testimony as well and share what happened to you, because again, whoever looks back at this, they can learn from the things that we've been through. Even the men in this chat, Pete, Seven's Wrath, whoever, now they have more of an understanding of what happens with women. And if they know somebody who suffered a loss, maybe they learn, okay, so these women went through that, I know how to deal with this person now, or I know I might need to show a little bit more sympathy or compassion. So with me, you guys, I had this wall, and I was just like, okay, I'm a mom. I still have 3 kids out here, or I still have 4 kids at that moment, or whatever. I needed to make sure in my mind, I was like, I still had to be strong. I still had to meet everybody's needs as if nothing ever happened. I still remember with the third, the one that I told you all that I actually delivered and held. That was one of the toughest conversations I had to have with my kids, because I was already, they knew that I was pregnant. Obviously, I was sticking all the way out. So they knew. So when that went from that to, wait a minute, there's no more baby, there was a conversation that had to be had. And they were young, they were very young. So I had to take my time with that conversation and think about, how do I explain this to them? How can I do it in a gentle manner instead of just saying, this is what happened and let's, move on. They had questions. I had to provide answers. I had to, meet them where they were. They were hurt too, because this is a child that they were seeing grow, and now it's no longer. So I say to any moms that are out there, or anybody that's going through this experience, make sure, if you have children, be delicate, because they're smart. They know what's going on. And with my girls, they would look at my face and be like, Mom, are you, like, they would check on me and say, Mommy, you okay? I saw you folding clothes and I thought you were crying. Do you need anything? So they're really receptive, and they want to help in their own little ways. So I just say, just make sure you keep them in mind, when you're going through things. You're going through things, and so are they. And I think that's what a lot of situations in life. So, here's Frank G. This comment: I feel like a woman should make her own decision if she wants to keep the baby or not. Yeah.
But what happened? Just let me say this, Frank. What happened if you get a woman pregnant, or just say a man gets a woman pregnant, right? And you want to keep the baby, and she's like, "No, I want to get rid of it." How do you feel? How do men feel then? Like, do you still feel as though, oh, it's her decision, let her decide, or do you feel like men should have a decision as well? They should have a say so. Just
Frank?
asking.
Yeah,
I like
Frank?
to play devil's advocate.
No, you have to, because you got to see both sides of it. Frank G, I don't know, you might be the only man in that's left. So if you want to, take that one, go right ahead. In the meantime, I'll read Crafty Leo's comment. It's cool. I got pregnant with my son a year later. It's when implantation happens in the tube.
Yeah, okay.
You don't always have to get your tube removed unless it ruptures. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that. All right, Frank. Let's see. Tay, new comments. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to make sure I'm up to date. I think. Oh, this journey is something else. Crafty Leo says this journey is something else. Also, that's a hard one, Tay. But at the end of the day, it's her body. Yeah, I think we agree with
I
that.
think it is too. I just wanted to. I just wanted to. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna read Frank. He said, honestly, I would be hurt by it, but it was her decision.
Yeah, because I just wanted to hear a man's perspective, what he thinks. Because I hear all the time men say, "Well, it's not fair if I want to keep the baby and then she want to get rid of it. Like she should just have it and give it to me." You know.
Yeah.
But then I also feel like too, like Carter Leo say, it's our body. We don't want to have to go through the 9 months of carrying the baby. You know, so if she didn't want to keep the baby or whatever, well then maybe that's the conversation y'all should have had before you put your seed inside of her, you know?
Yeah, I think that okay, so if you're single
If
and
you think you wrong, if I'm wrong or you have a different opinion, let's hear it.
oh no, I know that. I definitely would give it to you. I think
She said, I definitely give it to you.
definitely give it to you. I don't shy away. I think that those two individuals need to definitely have a conversation about it. Because I think about my husband, and if I were pregnant and I decided that I don't want this baby, I don't care what you say, blah blah. That's a conversation I had to have with him. And I know he is so, he's so like my kids have him like this. Like they are definitely daddy's girls. And the type of man that he is, I think Frank said it, he would be hurt. I think that if I made that decision, he would feel some kind of way about it because I don't know if he's always wanted to be a dad, but from what I know of my husband, he would feel like he's missed out on those opportunities and the opportunity to become a dad. And in my case, like I've had multiple kids, so it's not like we just had one, so he missed them. It's like, oh, but I think that's a conversation based on individuals that you have to have with your spouse, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, or whomever. And if it's somebody that would just like, a one and done, a side piece, whatever, I don't really have to have that conversation with you because
Right.
you're not really that significant in my life. But I'm saying if you have a union of some sort, if you're again married, if you're a long-term short boyfriend, girlfriend, and you have a relationship that you're thinking, this person, the man feels like he wants you to have the child. I can't even think of a case that I've had a person like that, but I would definitely have to have a heart to heart with that person and figure things out. But I believe that it's your body. It's your choice ultimately because you had to suffer through those things. You had to suffer through those things. And I can remember when I was in high school, people would go through some extreme measures because they didn't want to have those kids. And I won't even like call names, but they probably won't even watch this. But I'm just saying, just in case, people were doing some things. We can't hear you, Tay.
Yeah. Oh, the coat hanger and stuff like that, you know. I heard, yeah.
See, that's exactly the one I'm talking about. So it wasn't a made up thing. Yeah, the coat hanger. So people would do some extreme things, and I say that before you do something like that, just consider your health, your mental state, your well-being, and make the best choice for you. If you think the best choice is not having a baby, then that's your choice. And I mean, you do have the choice. People always say, well, they can put it up for adoption. Yeah, they can. But that person has to make the best choice for them. They have to make the best choice for them. Me, like Leo said, I didn't choose to do that. And I remember the doctor saying to me, because when I got up in age and I had my fourth and fifth, and they were like, do you want to take the test where they have to figure out if the baby has what is it called? From formalities, or if they're, if they have oh my goodness, what do they call it? If something is wrong with them, basically. And it's a test.
Down syndrome.
Yeah, Down syndrome, and they test for other things, but you're right.
Basically, just like their mental, any disabilities and stuff like that. Okay.
Mental disabilities, and if they could be born deformed in some type of way.
Yeah.
My answer was always, you didn't have, and I'm just saying me. I'm not saying this is what somebody else has to do that's pregnant. It's your choice, your decision. But for me, I always said, you don't have to take that. I don't have to do that test because either way, if I have this baby, I'm going to have this baby. If the baby comes in with 10 fingers, all their body parts and everything, it's still my baby. If they come in, without something, it's still my baby. So if you do the test or not, I'm still going to have a child. So for me, that test never mattered. For somebody else, it might, it might. But for me, it just didn't matter because I already knew what my decision was. So what I'm saying is that person just has to be secure in what their decision is. Just make sure that that is what you want to do and not what somebody else wants you to do.
Right.
Because if you're making a decision based on what somebody else wants, you are not going to be happy. You're going to be bitter. You're going to play that I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for you game. So that's what you don't. You don't want to put yourself in that kind of situation. You just have to make sure that you're good with your choice.
And I talked about that in my video. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I talked about that in my video as far as like doctors too will have you like try to make you make a decision. If that ain't something you want to do, because I talked in my video basically if a doctor is not giving you the right type of information that you're looking for, get another one. Don't be afraid to get another opinion. Don't be afraid to go out there and get another doctor, because it's so many times that I have spoken to a doctor, and a lot of these doctors feel as though because they went to school and they've gotten their degrees that they can tell you what they can do with your life. And it's like, no, I feel as though you being a doctor, your job is to give me recommendations, but not to tell me. Give me a recommendation. And if I don't like that recommendation, we'll then say, okay, well, here's another one. I probably don't suggest it, but blah, 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 whatever,
Absolutely. And I agree. If you feel like you need to get another opinion, 2, 3, 4 opinions, go get them. Because for me, I always want to feel like I'm settled in my spirit. I don't want to feel like I just jumped the gun and I made this decision because it was a fly by night. I got to make this choice right now, or the doctor said I had to whomever. I had to feel like, deep down, and this was the right choice for me. Now, it may not have been the right choice for you, but for me, it's the right choice. And as long as I am good with that for myself, it never matters to me what anybody else says. As long as I feel like this was the best choice for me, I did my research. Or sometimes I don't even have to do my research. If I'm going on my gut instinct and I'm saying, this is what I want to do, this is the right choice, I'm just going with it. Yeah. And whatever consequences come along with it, I had to be prepared for it. So that's all I'm saying to people. Like, just make sure that you thought it out. Make sure it's what you want to do. Make sure it's the right choice for you. And then be prepared for whatever happens, whether good, bad, indifferent. And
yeah, because for me personally, like, I started seeking out Black doctors. Like, I want somebody that's been through the same, that know what we go through, and no shade to anybody else who's another race or anything like that. It's just that I want somebody who know about me. And so I did. I went out and I seeked a Black doctor, which he was a male, but at the same time, I think that when I was asking him questions, he was acting though it's like, oh, I want to argue and this and that. And so I kind of had a problem with that too, because you know how they always feel about us as Black women, like we want to argue. We, you know what I mean? We got that attitude and this and that. And no, it ain't like I got an attitude. It's just, if you say something, okay, I'm going to ask a question. It ain't no, oh, okay. No, is there any side effects to it?
Right.
That's what
I want some details. Like, don't skim over the top for me.
Right. And then is there another type of way we can do this? Not just this one way that you recommended. Is there another way that we can do this? And so when I was saying stuff like that to him, it was just like, well, you want to argue. Why you want to argue this, that? I changed so quick. Okay, well, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your time, but it's unneeded now because I just don't have time for it. I want somebody to be like, oh, well, yeah, I recommend this, but sure, we have something else available. Now I don't recommend it because of X, Y, and Z. It could cause this, it can cause that, but we do have this option available. Doctors tend to just give you their option and their option only. And it's like, wait a minute,
Oh, yeah, I agree with you, Tay. I'm like that too. I want all the details about all of it. And if I ask you questions, I expect them to be answered. If you don't answer it, oh, I'm going to ask you again. I'll ask you another way. And I'll say, okay, well, what about this? Just like you said. And I think you're well within your rights. Like, why are you going to somebody that you feel uncomfortable with asking questions with? And they are not going to answer your questions. So you need to move on. Because what I'm not going to do is shortchange myself and, my health. I need to know that this is the best option for me, not just because you said it, I'm going to go with it. No, I want to be able to make an educated decision and the one that's best for me first,
Right.
And yeah, I agree
And
with
I
you.
think we all know our bodies. So if something is off and something is wrong, stick with that and continue to find somebody who's going to actually do something. Because these doctors that sit up here and say, oh, no, everything's fine. No, it's not. I'm telling you, I know how my body is. You know what I mean? Everybody know how their body is. So if something is off, go and seek somebody else that's going to do something. Because if the one person don't want to do it, well, God dang it, find somebody else,
You right about that. You are right. I'm in the process now trying to find somebody with my toe. And I know this sounds probably real like minute in comparison to other people, like what Rashonda said. I'm going to get to her.
Yeah, I see that.
And her comment, but my toe had been bothering me for years. It had started happening during the pandemic. I went to a doctor. They were like, "Oh, nothing's wrong with you. Just put some toe polish on your toenail. You'll be okay." And I'm like, "I'm telling you, something's wrong with my toe." And I was explaining everything. And I went to another doctor, and they referred me to a dermatologist. Went to them. They're like, "Oh, nothing's wrong with it. You'll be fine." Blah blah blah. And I'm
A dermatologist for your foot?
Yeah. Yeah, they told me to go to a dermatologist because I guess he was saying that the discoloration, like I had a discoloration in my toe, like the toenail.
That's supposed to be for a podiatrist or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my husband was
They
like, what? I'm like,
tripping.
they were tripping. I was like, that makes absolutely no sense. So now I'm in the process, like, let me just find this help myself because now it's starting to feel like a little tingle or like it's. I saw my toe swelling up. I'm like, now see, it wasn't doing this. I was like, I kept telling them. But that goes to show you that you got to just be persistent with trying to get the answers that you want. I know, just like you said, I know my body. I know it wasn't like that before. It didn't just pop up and show up and, oh, it's nothing. No, it's something. We need to address it. If you're not going to give me the right answers, I'm just going to keep going until I get the right answer. And I'm telling you, that's what I'm on a mission just to find out because it don't look like my other toe. It doesn't feel like my other toe. So I know something's wrong with it.
I used to have that too, that little dark spot. And that's from like either like a fungus or like you hitting your toe and stuff and it caused that. So yeah.
And that's what I went with before.
Definitely go to a podiatrist. They tripping talking about a dermatologist. A dermatologist is your face.
Like what are they gonna do? It's like
or like skin
related.
Yeah.
So I don't know. When they said that, I knew then, okay, you need to just keep looking because that's not the right answer. Wrong, bah. So, okay, Rashonda says I got 4 pins before having brain surgery because I knew it was a life or death situation. Good for you. You got it.
And you should, yeah, because in that situation, that is a serious surgery. And in that case, give me every single possibility you got.
Right. And I'm calling everybody and I'm checking everybody's records. Like you
right.
I'm checking everybody. What school did you graduate from? What are your ratings? What reviews do you have? Everything. I'm checking everything. All the background information that I can to find out what you did. Tell you I love them.
Yeah, I do too. I love them too. I got me another black man doctor, but I love black men doctors. Sometimes I don't like them too much. So it's like I like them and then I don't like them because sometimes too, like they don't understand what we go through and they're not as sympathetic as if you get you a black woman. A black woman understand exactly what we go through as women. You know what I'm saying?
For right now, a black female doctor.
And I think it's important for us to find somebody that looks like us. This is, like I say again, this is no tea, no shade to anybody. Like my pediatrician for my son, I got him a black doctor because I want him to go to somebody that looks like him. I want my kids to start seeing people that look like them. So as they get older, they can say, oh, I can be a doctor because I seen somebody that looked like me. That's a doctor.
That's exactly right. My girls, when we moved, they finally got a African-American female doctor and they love her. And they're like, I loved her from the moment we started interacting and going more. She'd be like, you know what? You got that black girl magic. And she speaks into them.
Right. And that's a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful. It's good to even watch their face light up because they're like, Dr. Grace said I was, I'm smart and I'm beautiful. And it's just like a whole different, you know, presentation with her. She
It's
speaks
a,
some shit like, how you doing in school? You're doing awesome. I know you're doing great. And she just speaks to them on that level they can understand. And it's just a great dynamic. And like you said, they're like, Mommy, she looks like me. And she's a pediatrician. I can do that. I already have
right.
the ones that are looking at it. So I'm like, oh, you definitely can. So yes, that representation matters. Representation does matter.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Oh,
Black
Tim Tam.
dentist, a black doctor, black just if you can, black everything,
You can.
because so your kids can see that there are other people that look like them that can do certain things. Because if
Yeah.
you just constantly going to somebody that's different race, your kids see that and your kids be like, well dang, can I be a doctor?
Can I do
Can I be a
something?
dentist? Can I do this? I never seen nobody that look like me that do
I
this.
never seen it. Yeah, because they see the athletes and they see the entertainers and they're like, well, what if I want to be a firewoman? Or, what if I want to be a computer tech person?
Right.
They need to see people that look like them in different forms, different walks of life, different environments. Makes a big difference. That was
Right.
also, I was saying when I grew up in a predominantly African American city. And that was another reason for my Geeky Girls Journal, because seeing that, okay, how you go to career fairs, and I would always see the teachers, the doctors. Like I saw a couple doctors, maybe a couple, and I say a couple, one or two, and I didn't see a lot of variety. I saw like those that you always see. I saw a policeman. I saw like
Child, I
that, but
need to find me a doctor. Child, any doctors on here?
yeah, but I didn't see those in the tech world represented. I didn't see people
You
in the
didn't
media.
see any black people in the tech world represented?
Not when I was growing up. When I wanted to, you had like career fairs
Oh
and things
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And I when I got older and had my own kids, I was like, I want them to see the different, minorities in different fields, so that they could feel represented, so they can say, okay, like you said, I see the doctor, she looks like me, I know I can do it. And it also helped that she was a woman, so she's a black woman, and she spoke to them and she's like, listen, you can do it. If you want to do this, you can too. And I'm like, hey, Dr. Grace, can I arrange something with you so that they can come up and see what you do for today? And she was more receptive. Oh, sure. Let me know when. So that's important, trying to give them those experiences. And so back to what you said, Tay, yeah, give me the black doctor. Like I said, I'm looking for one at the moment.
That's
Uh,
good.
oh, Rashonda said, I was blessed to have one of the best neurosurgeons in the world. I'm glad.
Amen to that. Thank God. And you
Mhm.
here today to speak your truth and to speak your truth and put your videos out there. I mean, just you obviously are here for a reason, and you're here to speak your testimony. So,
Mhm.
and she's doing
Yes.
that. God bless you, Rashonda.
I know I'm with Tay on that. God bless you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing your story through chat. I mean, if you want to come up and say something, just let me know. But I appreciate everybody for chiming in and telling their story, because this is going, like I said, I didn't start out. I didn't know it would go this way. I'm glad Tay Eats came up here and she's my co-host helping me through this. But this is taking a spin and I love it. I mean, I love it because I think the more aware we are, the more education we have, and you hear other people who go through different things, it takes a different toll. Well, for me at least, when I hear different people's testimony, I'm like, okay, I can push a little bit longer. I can get through this. Um, and like you said, Tay, finding somebody who looks like you, that makes a big difference. That makes that person more relatable. So a lot of people just can't understand because it's a cultural difference. But I can go in and speak a certain way to you, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. We
I
got that little lingo. You know us, we got that lingo. We got them words that we understand one another. It's like also too, like I don't know if you've seen these TikTok videos or whatever, like when it's another black person, we got that
yes,
little nod, like
yes. Everybody
like what's
knows
up?
that.
Like we got that connection.
Yes, we got the nod. Everybody knows now. You see somebody, we don't have to speak. We just like,
What's
you
up?
know
What's
it.
up?
Or it's something special about us. Somebody says something, you just get that look. Like I think I saw one of those TikToks. They were like the look you give when somebody says something. You like, all of us had that
Yeah,
look. Like
we do that.
It's just that, like little things like that, being able to relate without even saying something, being able to have that nonverbal communication and having that person understand you. And like you said, if I had to have an argument with my doctor because you're not meeting my needs, I don't need to be there because you're not benefiting me. I need to be here to try to make the best decisions for me, or in my case, my kids, and all you moms and dads, whoever out there, to make the best decision for my kids. And if you're just trying to say something to get me out that office in 5 minutes, this is not the place for me, because I got a lot of questions, y'all, and I'm asking questions. I'm asking, like you said, Tay, I'm asking a question that you might not want to answer, and because I need to know, I need to have the most.
But before, in the beginning, did you used to be like, okay, whatever the doctor say, okay?
No,
you never been like that. I used to be like that because I didn't know any better.
Yeah, no, I didn't, because let me tell you what, some doctors have really tried to like shut me up and get me out of their office. Like, oh, okay, bye. But then when I got pregnant with my first child, like I did so much research on this doctor that I had that I went in talking to her. Everyone, please thumbs up the live and share it out. Thank you, Jamie. Very informative. I went in like talking to her about her history, and she was like, wow, I didn't know people actually read my bio. I was like, oh, I do. I read everything about you before I come into this office.
I know, that's right.
Everything, because I want to know what you're doing, what you've been through, how you relate to people, what people think about you. So I asked the question. Now, it probably was in this case with my toe, I let the first one slide because they were just like, oh, it's nothing, get out of here, basically, is how I interpret it. When somebody tells me, when I say I got an issue with my toe, and at that moment, Tay, like you said, it was just like a little brown spot or something. I'm like, I ain't have it 2 weeks ago, so where's it coming from? And they're like, oh, it's nothing. Just paint your toes. Paint my toes? Really? That's the answer you give me? Put some paint on your toes and you'll be okay. Paint some toes. But now it's 2 years later and I'm still having some problems. I know.
See what I'm saying? Yeah.
Paint was not going to do it.
GA girl.
Yeah. Let me. Oh, hey, yeah, GA girl. Hey, girl. And I know GA girl. She's always talking about things like this wellness and yeah. Have you heard of Tay? I'm sure you have. Okay, Frank. She said she's speaking. Miss Patty. My husband had a black heart. Mm-hmm. Okay, my husband had a black heart surgeon and he was awesome. Very successful surgery. See, I mean, it's a shame that, sometimes you feel like, and you're welcome, Rashonda, that you have to go to somebody black, in our case, or Caucasian, in whoever case, if you are not African American in the chat, if you feel like you have to go to somebody for that reason, because they can meet you where you are culturally, or they can understand what you're saying, or whatever the situation is. Because I feel like if you're a doctor, and I'm not just trying to come down on doctors, because it happens with every profession. I think that instead of trying to give people a fast answer and shooing them away, give them the correct answer. Give them the heartfelt answer, the appropriate answer. If it were you and you were searching for an answer, what would you tell that person? What would you tell that person? When I've run into a lot of moms, and probably because they sometimes they're drawn to me because I have a lot of children with me, and my husband is always like, Drea, you're always telling people about, what they should, giving them suggestions and advice about being a mom and how to go through the pregnancy. And it's because I feel like I've been through it. And if I can help any mom, 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, whatever, I'm going to be there. If they ask me a question about anything pregnancy related, mom related, I'm telling them, and I'm giving details. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. If you don't want to hear it, I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm telling you my truth because I have not been through every situation in the world as far as pregnancy. I've had lots of pregnancies, so I can tell you what my experiences are. I can tell you what my experiences have been as a mom. And then I tell people, you take what you need from this conversation and you apply it to your life as you can. But I don't shy away from helping others with that. GA girl, I'm here, just finished my live. Oh, okay. I had to do a replay, GA. Hey, GA girl. Okay. On the panel, Tay East. Wait, is that Jamie being a mod down there? Look at her. Thank you, Jamie. Look at you modding up. Yep. So you guys, I'm sorry if this was not the conversation that you anticipated. It surprised me in ways that I'm glad that I was here for. Then, hopefully you've learned something, or hopefully you were able to share what you wanted to share, get some things off your chest. If there's anybody else out there that wants to share, feel free to do it. we've been on here an hour. Well, not you per se, Tay. An hour and 58 minutes. It's almost 2 hours.
Go, girl. Get them watch hours.
Those watch hours, God knows I need them. God knows I need them. Thank you. Yes, girl. So,
Yes.
oh, Tay, thank you for coming up with me today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't know. Is there anything else you have to add that you'd like to say that we didn't cover? 'Cause I know we talked about a few different
Girl,
things.
I can go on for hours. I'm telling you, I be feeling like I be need my own radio talk show or whatever you want to call it. I think the Baddie twins got their little talk show because I love talking about relationship, just all kind of stuff, and I love to hear people's opinions and what they think. And
You should do it.
I think I am one day.
Would you want to do a podcast, like a podcast?
Oh yeah, like a podcast to be good too. Yep.
Girl, do a podcast. Try do like a sample. Start it on your channel here and just do kind of like a podcast.
I be scared. Some people be like, just do it, just do it, right?
Girl.
But then part of me, I be scared because when you get on the channel, you get opinionated. You could get some hate.
But that's what it's supposed
You
to be
already know what they got, the cancel culture and all of that stuff.
Let me tell you what my kids tell me every day. Like, Mom, they like, you know what? Sometimes you just say some stuff, and I do. I know I have my own opinion, just like you do. And they're like, people would cancel you. I'm like, they probably would. But
I know.
The way I feel about this, you can't cancel me. I don't think anybody can cancel me. You can say cancel culture and say, oh, I'm canceled under a Geeky Girls Journal, whatever. But I could never be canceled. There's only one person that can cancel me. That's God. Like, can't nobody cancel me.
Amen to that.
Yeah, can't nobody cancel me. I have an opinion just like the next person. You have an opinion. And you know what? You can bless some people. You will be surprised at how many people, and you wouldn't be surprised. You have a YouTube channel. You'll be surprised at how many people's lives you affect just by giving your opinion or just by telling what your experiences are. And I think it's just stepping out. And you know what? It's funny for me because I'm not like an ideas person where I have ideas every 24 hours a day coming at me. But when I have them, I have a whole bunch coming all at once. And I'm like, oh, I got to hurry to write it down or put it in my phone. I'm more of an implementer. Like I can implement. And I'll tell somebody in a minute. My sister-in-law, she started business. I'm like, come on, girl, come over here. We're about to start. I made her post like 3 times a day, and I got on the next day. Come on, post. And I'm like, I can implement, and I can say, come on, let's do it, and sit down and make somebody do it. Just look, you got the goods, girl. You can talk. How many times have you co-hosted and taken over this channel today? Just get on there, start it. And you know what? I always say this. This is a thing. Start something and try it out just to see if it's for you. It may not be for you, but at least you try it out. And I think the only way you fail is not to do it. That's my personal opinion. I'm one of those.
Right. I'm just cutthroat, and some people will be like, probably, dang, like
it's a lot of
I
people.
got no filter, girl.
Guess what? It's people like that. They got radio and TV shows and podcasts. So you'll be fine. Do it. See if you like it. See what kind of let the audience.
Look at Frank. Frank is so amazing, y'all. I just love Frank. He's like, I would support you if you did a podcast. Like Frank is so freaking amazing.
Me too. Do it. You know what? The only way you can fail is not to do it. Just try it out. And see how you feel about it. That's all I say. Just don't quit. If it's something I think about, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I'm gonna just do it because the only way I'll know if I'm good at it is just to do it. And
I gotta start getting in that phrase of what you just said because sometimes I talk myself, but it's so funny because I'll tell other people to just do it because it's amazing how all of these years I've been wanting to do YouTube forever, and I'm finally getting on here, and it's like, yeah, YouTube is amazing. Like I'm like, why I wait so long? I'm so mad at myself for waiting so long, because I'm like, I met so many amazing people on this platform. Like, girl. You think your family is somebody to support you. It's crazy when some strangers who don't even freaking know you, know nothing. They just see you on this camera and they support you 100%.
And you know what? To me, that's worth a lot because that person has to make a choice. They don't have to love you. You know what I mean? Like your family members that you expect to support you or that you are hoping to support you, because I don't have any expectations for people anymore. I don't. I dropped them. I don't have any expectations. Whatever you do, whatever you give me, thank you very much. If you don't, whatever, because I already expected nothing. But I expect a lot from myself. So those people, when people that you don't know, like Frank G, Jay Jordan, hey, he just entered. Hey, Jay. Hey, what's
Jay
up, Jay?
Jordan in the
That's somebody
building.
else. He is a very supportive, very, very supportive person. Very supportive. As soon as I met him, he just, I don't know what it was about him, but
Y'all clicked, huh?
we clicked. Yeah, we clicked, and he did not have to support me as is Frank G. You, nobody. And I'm saying that to make the point about strangers supporting you. You know, you don't expect them to, but I look at it differently from somebody that I don't know because they like you. They're there. They made the choice to say, okay, I like this person. I'm gonna stick around and see what they have to say. They didn't do it because you owe them something, or oh, I'm just gonna subscribe because that's a family member. I'm gonna give it to her so she can be quiet, or that's my neighbor. I'll subscribe just because I don't, when I walk out the front door, I don't want her to be like, hey, did you subscribe to my channel? These are people that I probably won't even see, outside of YouTube. Maybe, I don't know, who knows what the future holds, but more than likely won't just bump into. But they choose to be here, and say, hey, I'm supporting you. And I think that's very valuable in itself, that somebody, that we all take the time to support one another, and that we found a community such as this. And like you said, I know that trolls exist, but I've really experienced more positive people than not.
Have you received any trolls? Like, have you had trolls in your chats?
I've had somebody, but it wasn't something that stirred me up. I was just kind of like, okay, whatever, they were just in trying to be seen, basically saying hi, hi, hi. The most of the time I get, like, I've seen people coming in and say mean things in other people's lives or chats like that, but most of the time I just get like the sexually explicit, messages. Yeah, I get that, and I'm just like, oh, okay, get a life or delete. I like it. Shit. Thank you, Jay, for sharing.
So can I ask you a question?
You can ask me a question.
Okay, so I know in your one video you said that you and your husband came up with the Geeky Girl. He done one part. I forgot what part. And yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll let you finish and I answer your question.
Yeah, so I was just, curious, like, how you got into doing that. I know you said a little bit of what made you do it is because of your daughters and things like that, but maybe if you can go in a little depth and just explain about the Geeky Girls Journal.
Okay, look, I'm getting interviewed on my own channel. I love it.
I'm just taking over. Look at me. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
I love it. I love it because I found somebody after my own heart. Like, I talk a lot too, so I love it. Derek said, let's go. He's talking to you, Tay. Let's go get it. That's right.
Let's go get it. Listen what Tam Tam said.
Yeah, Tam is right there. There are people creating troll accounts because they are hating on the fact that they aren't growing. I know that for a fact. And they don't have anything else to do with their life, so they come in and try to disrupt other ones. And Derek says, I got those two. They're just spam. Yeah, I get that a lot. It's more annoying, just to see it. Oh, wow, Tam, that says Rashana. And I'm going to answer your question after this. Yes, personal experience. I did my research and found out exactly what was happening. So if they are coming, it's on purpose. Oh, okay. So they come on purpose. Yep. So they've probably been watching you, Tay, and saying, oh, you know what? She's doing such an awesome job. I'm just about to disrupt her live just because I can't.
Do. Yeah, people do that. Or they see that you are heading somewhere. And they're like, I'm supposed to come through and just disrupt.
Did that happen to you? Look, I'm going to ask you that question. Let me answer your question first. So, yes, I started that. My husband wrote it, and I wrote like a little bit of it. I'm not an author. I did the illustrations, and the illustrations, we wanted them to be more comical and humorous so that, we could capture that audience and they can have fun while they're reading the book. And I say that, the book was initially written for middle grades, like middle school ages, 8 to 12 or a little bit higher, but really anybody can read the books. I had somebody over 60 reading, and they were just like, it was so relatable and funny, and they just enjoy reading it. And I keep getting really good like feedback. And I'm not saying that just because it's, I had a hand in it, but I also want to make a point that for anybody in the chat who may not understand, it's not one of those self-help books like this is what I would do to gain more confidence, or this is how you should speak to somebody. It's more written on a level where this girl, a genius. She's going through her everyday life through middle school, and she's kind of telling about her experiences and how she deals with each experience. Now, we camouflage in a way so that it teaches lessons, but you can also gain from them, and then you can look at the illustrations and just kind of seal it, and we use relatable things, and we have this part that's realistic and then a part that's kind of fantasy. So for kids who like fantasy, she drifts off into this world where she's actually a princess, and she tells that part of it. But then she goes back to the real world where she has this father that's like a mom that's, a natural and just like, hey, me. She's basically me. And then the father that if a boy approaches you, kick him in the face, don't do this, slap his candies out of his hand. So it's like our reality infused into our girls' reality, and just us bringing it to life in the story to try to make them relatable. And just to explain, my daughters, like I said, they going through experiences where people have actually asked them, can I have the N-word card? Can I have the N-pass? Or, I don't know if you've ever heard that, but where, people
No,
ask,
what is it? The N-word, but what do you mean?
N-word pass, where they want to ask, can I call you an N-I-G-G?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My son experienced something this week, a racial, which we had never. I've talked to him about it, but yeah, one of his classmates said that basically if he shut the lights out, like he wouldn't be able to see him or whatever. Like, yeah, so teacher called me. I was happy about that. Teacher called me and was like, oh, well, your son had an incident today. And I'm like, what? I'm all like, what happened? And she was like, oh, well, no, a student said something inappropriate to him and this and that. And I'm like, okay, what? And she didn't say. She was like, well, I have your son tell you. And so my son gets on the phone and he tells me what he said. And I said, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, something racial. I'm like, okay. I said, well, I told my son, I'm like, well, I've had this conversation with you before, because I tell him now, you a man, and being as a Black man at that, you have to do more than what's expected, So.
Good night, Tam. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Good night, Tam Tam.
Good night, Tam Tam. Yeah. Oh, Tay, let me tell you what. I want to hear from my kids' mouth most of the time, because something just happened with my daughter the last school year, and it was racially and sexually motivated. And I wasn't told the entire story when the first two people called me. And I'm like, wait a minute, that makes no sense. I'm not the type of parent that you can just come in and say just a little bit and think I'm gonna say, oh, okay, well,
Yeah, because I'll be like, what you mean?
I want to know every detail.
Right.
What did my child say?
What made him say that? Or
what made him say this? What did the other people say? What did you say? How did my child respond to this? And then they were like, they wanted me to make a decision like this without speaking to her. I was like, no. I'm going to have a conversation with my daughter when she comes home. I want to hear her side of what happened and how she feels about it. And then I will call you back and let you know how we're going to proceed.
Right.
In this case, the person was just like sexually trying to assault her. And I was like, oh, no, you didn't tell me all that. You didn't tell me all this happened. And some other instances, like my daughter, my first, when she was in 6th grade, I had just left out the principal's office talking about a situation. Jay, let me know if you want to come up here, or Frank G, or anybody, while I'm talking. I'll look over, try to watch the chat.
I think Tam Tam asked me, was I going live? I think I might go live, Tam Tam, for a little bit. I don't know.
Well, yeah, go live, girl. Go live and talk about your podcast that's coming up.
I know, right?
Yeah, you can do it. I know you can do it. You definitely had a personality. Hey, GA girl, did we miss you? Hi again, GA girl. But yeah, I had just left out the principal's office talking about a situation. I walk out to go take my daughter, and we were getting in my vehicle. And as soon as I opened the door, these two kids came past, and they're like, "You ends are not supposed to be here. What are you doing here?" And I was like, "What?" And I almost lost it on the spot. I had to remember that they were children, and I was just like, and my daughter, she reacts differently than me. Like, I'm like, what? And I'm ready to go.
You react quick, yeah.
I react quickly.
Like
my
me.
kids, yes, I react quickly like you. And my daughter, she was like, "Mom, it's okay." And I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, I know this might sound wrong, you guys, but the way I was brought up, that is not something you say to me and get away with. not a way to, and I responded and I was ready to run. I mean, I was literally like in my mind halfway across the parking lot because they took off running after they said it. So they knew it was wrong.
Right.
My daughter was like, Mom. And she's like, I felt like I was almost in the zone. And I had to snap out of it. She's like, Mom, it's okay. Like, just don't worry about it. Let it go. I was like, it is not okay. It's not okay because let me tell you something. Don't allow people to disrespect you like that. And we had to have this whole conversation. She was like, I know, Mom, but just calm down. It's all right. And she's talking to me. And I was just like, I feel like it was almost a role reversal, but that's just me. I just respond, and I said, okay, this is how I'm going to deal with it. I went right back into school and I told the principal, I just left out of here only to experience the same situation or a similar situation that I just spoke to you about. And then they were like, well, they did ask me who it was. I was like, I don't know who they were. I didn't have to take a picture. I'm just telling you, 2 of your students came and said that to an adult. During my time, we didn't say stuff like that to adults. You might have said stuff to other kids, but you're not going to say that to another adult. And I was just kind of taken back that they even let the words come out their mouth. And I was like, okay, see, what we're not going to do is let it pass. I'm going in. I talked to her and they were like, I apologize for it. Okay, well, yeah, thanks. But I mean,
that just goes to show that, racism.
Oh.
Hold on, my little niece, baby, she crying. That just goes to show that racism is still involved, and it goes to show what goes on in their home.
It does, yes, and that's what I said. That's a home issue. Another point. This will be the last one. And I'll let you all go if you're ready. My daughter, the other daughter, was in a situation, and one of the kids in her class told her, because she was in the front of the line. You know how the teacher picks sometimes when this child gets in the front, the other ones, they alternate. So she was in the front of the line, and a little person told her, "You are not supposed to be in the front of the line. You need to go to the back, like your people." And this is when she was in 2nd or 3rd grade, so it's something that it's homegrown. And I told her, I was like, okay. And the principal called. He was really rapid about calling me, and he did explain everything. And I give him kudos for that because he was like one of the first ever to be like, Miss Cross, let me explain to you what happened. And he like laid everything out. And he said, how do you want to proceed with this? And he said, I've already spoken to the other parents, and they'd like to speak to you and I was like, why do they need to speak to me? Because in my mind, this is where the child got it from. Who else did they get it from?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to speak to me about it? Because it's not going to change your opinion of me and my daughter. And I told the principal, I appreciate you for taking the necessary steps. However, this is not the first time this has happened to my kids, and it probably won't be the last time. Unfortunately, now I got to have this conversation with them because I've always been that type of mom that's been open with them, and they say I'm TMI, but I'd rather be that. So I had these conversations, and I say, you know what? You're going to have to build really tough skin. And you're a Black woman. You have to be strong. You got to fight through these situations. And unfortunately, this may not be the last time you come into contact with something of this nature. But now you know how to deal with it moving forward. So I don't know. I just had those necessary conversations. And that's also why the book came about, because we just wanted to address certain issues that sometimes, like you said, we don't have a manual as parents. We do the best job we can do. I believe that you do the best job you can do with your child. Nobody stands over you and says, oh, you need to do blah, 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 blah. You figure it out as you go along. You make mistakes and you figure it out. And so that also was a release for us to say, hey, this is how we might have handled it in this situation. And when my kids read it, they would read certain parts like, oh, okay, I understand that. My friend went through this, or I went through this. And it opened up some conversations that we might not have thought about with them. So that's kind of the hope back to the book, that we wanted it to, help other parents in that situation. But Frank G, Tim, everybody.
Derek Journal say, how you guys doing with watch hours?
Who, me? Woo! Let's say if my watch hours are like Derek Journey, I think I probably only have I should look on there and see 200 something too. I don't have many at all. It may be it's no more than 500. I can tell you that.
You don't, for real? We gotta get it up. You be running, you be on your lives though.
I know, that's why I try to do the lives. Like I enjoy doing the pop-up lives. Because my uploads, I haven't been doing a lot of uploads. I have a lot of videos that I need to edit, and I'm just like, okay, it's easier for me.
You haven't put them out there.
Yeah, I got to put them out there. I have some all the way back from December of last year, and I just decided to toss some of them because I'm like, They're too old, but Tay Ish, you see what Jay said about you? You are doing a great job on your channel.
Oh, thank you, Jada Jordan.
Yeah.
The Jay Jordan.
Oh, official Jamie only needs 91. You make sure you go to official Jamie. We gotta push her over. She is
We're gonna
almost
have a party.
Hey.
Party.
We celebrate that for a second. You got 91 watch hours. If you can get those, girl. Everybody try to run her. I'm gonna run you, Jamie, again.
She gonna get it.
Yeah, you are so close. Look, yeah, that's right. Party time. And what about you, Tay? How you doing with your watch hours? You need
I need like 1,300.
1,300. Okay, everybody.
But I'm good. I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, you'll get there. I know it's
I ain't even tripping.
Yeah, it's a journey. I mean, my watch hours, like I really never even thought about them until like the last 2 months when I heard people talking about watching us, and I'm like, oh, I guess I better do something with this time. But still, it'll come. I feel like it'll come in time. I know I'm all the way behind where I should be probably, if I compare myself to others with it, but
that's how I feel that it's gonna come. Like when I had when I was hiding my subscriber count, people used to be like, why don't you show them so we can help you get to 1,000? I just be like, nah, I'm all right. Like when I get there, I get there. Like, yeah, I'm just not. I'm serious about YouTube, but I'm just not that. Like I'm not that pressed to be like, play my playlist, do this, do that. You know what I mean? It's just, or subscribe. Hurry up and subscribe to my channel. I want genuine subscribers who really like me to click on that button. I don't want to be out searching for people, and then when it comes down to it, and I have all these subscribers, only 300 people are watching my channel. People that got 4,000, 5,000, 20,000 subscribers, but only 300 views.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah, I've seen that. When I first started, I was wondering, I'm like, how do you have 46 views and thousands of subscribers?
Yeah,
I mean, like thousands and thousands. Yeah. That's why, though, because you have the subscribers that aren't there viewing, they subscribe, and that's that.
That's why I'm not rushing out to seek like subscribers and stuff. Like I say, if I happen to be in the chat and people want to subscribe to me, then thank you. I appreciate it. I definitely go over there and check on your channel. But it's not something like I'm fishing. I'm in somebody's chat fishing. Nah, I'm not really doing all that, Just take my time. When my time happens, it's gonna happen, and I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Frank G says, I'm not rushing for nothing when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah. Frank G just did a video on that. He was like, I'm not rushing. If it happens pretty much,
Yeah, I think when you look at it in that way, it takes a little bit of the load off, the pressure of trying to keep up with the Joneses, as people would say, or like then you're looking at the analytics and you worried, okay, I had 20 subscribers today and 10 dropped. If you kind of just look at it as a journey and as a process, then you probably won't be as affected when you look at your numbers. Because it's going to happen. The numbers go up and down all the time. The views are going up and down depending on what you're talking about and how that person feels that day. They may like your video, they might not. So no crap to the other for sure.
Right, because the simple fact that everybody, like you said, everybody's journey is different. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I don't get jealous, or I just don't get jealous of somebody else's success and stuff like that, because it's like everybody's journey is different. When it's your time to shine, you're gonna shine, Yeah. But I think it is important to stay motivated and stay positive. Always believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself first before anybody else believes in you. So yeah, it can get depressing when you're looking at somebody else who has so many other subscribers and then you over here on the back end. But I always just want to stay positive and continue just focus on me.
I agree. And you if you're constantly looking at other people's, you're gonna always,
right. But you got people who do that.
Yeah, you have to look at it as this is my journey, and like you said, I'm just taking it day by day, week by week, and my journey is my journey. I'm not trying to compare it to a mega channel or even another small channel because we're different. We have different viewpoints. We have different audiences. Sometimes, and a lot of times, I see the same people like in different communities, but um, I'm not going to allow it to consume me and stress me out. I've said this before that you have other priorities. I have a family. I have life outside of YouTube that I have to be concerned with. Does that mean I'm not going to create any more videos? Absolutely not. I'm still going to do that, but I'm not going to allow it to just suck me into that tube that is consuming me and just sucking everything out of me and saying, okay, if I don't get this number today or if I don't get that, then today wasn't a good day. It's still a productive day. I still did what I came to do. It may not have had the same results, but eventually, like you said, it'll catch up with you. And what I'm trying to do is just just like I said, take it day by day and be in the moment, have fun. I don't want to be on YouTube and be miserable because all I'm doing is worrying about, I didn't edit my video and I'm supposed to put it up, right now. Or, I'm sorry, I just heard one of my kids, mom. So yeah, I say have fun in it, enjoy the moment, and it's your journey. Don't compare it to others. It's going bill by bill.
I agree. Like Frank said, my bills will get paid regardless. Period. Because especially right now, YouTube don't pay my bills. Okay, so
mine either. In fact, trying to buy the things that I need for YouTube is taken out of my
right. You're at a point. We're at a point where we're investing.
Absolutely, right? That's the word I'm looking for. Yep, we're investing. So it'll catch up with.
It'll pay off.
It'll pay off. It'll pay off eventually. I'm sorry. I know I'm looking over there at the door. I keep hearing little feet and stuff, and I know they'll be popping in soon. So, yeah. So, Ray of Sunshine says, Crafty Leo said, love this live. Thank you, Crafty Leo. And Ray of Sunshine says, like in the movie Robot says, shine. Hey.
No matter what you made of, I'm shining, I'm alive, and moving forward. I know that's right, Ray of Sunshine. Tell it like it is, honey.
I love it. And Frank G said, facts. Crafty Leo, I agree. Hi, Paralife. How are you? Good to see you because I haven't seen you in a minute. I think I need to catch up on some of your videos. You're a shining ray of sunshine. Oh, that's so nice, Crafty Leo. All right. So, Tay, look, let people know about your channel before I let you go because I appreciate you being on here for this long. And look, if I didn't have responsibilities, I would stay on here even longer to have this conversation with you and whatever else came up. But I think my time is dwindling. So tell everybody about your channel.
I got a mukbang channel. So if y'all like eating and things like that, y'all check me out. Yeah, I just talk my ish over there, and I eat. Sometimes I just eat and don't talk too much. But for the most part, I try to bring a little conversation. I don't want to bore you guys out. So
you don't. The ones that I've seen so far, I was quite entertained and actually very relatable. So you're doing well. Yeah, you're doing well. And I can't wait to see what comes next from you. I'm going to be looking forward to your podcast or your radio and TV show now since you brought it up. And, look, if you need a guest to come on and chit chat with you, I'll be happy to jump in if you want me to.
Okay, well, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
If you want. If not, I'll be right there in the background in the bushes, whatever people call it, cheering you on. People need to stop.
I don't mind. I like the topics that you and your sister and your aunt, right?
Yes.
Yeah, y'all talk about. I enjoy that. I be wanting to chime in, honey, because there'll be some good topics, some stuff I didn't deal with. Okay.
Oh, good. See, good. I'm glad you can relate. That's all. I want to, be able to continue to bring topics like that and have those conversations because I'm like you. When you're talking, I'm like, oh, yep. I understand. So post it. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Oh, anytime. And if you look, when we're having our conversation with my aunt and my sisters there, if you want to jump in. I will put the link there and you can jump in. Anybody else jump? We love to have a conversation. So hi. Could you hear that? Hi. Hi. So everybody, I have to go. I thank you all for showing up for me tonight and staying for this 2 hour and 30 minutes. Thank you. We still have some people here, Tay. They like us. So
I know, right?
yes, keep me posted on everything, Tay. Everybody else have a great night. Let me make sure I get the last comment. That's from Raya Sunshine. Crack to the thank you. Sometimes we need to hear it, even if we say it to ourselves. Hearing it from others is the gravy. Absolutely. And it's normal to have it cross your mind to compare, but that's when you need to do a slap. Yep. To yourself, like Chris did to the guy did in Head of State movie. Interesting after the Will incident. Oh yeah, that's a whole nother topic, isn't it?
Radiant Sunshine is a movie fanatic.
Oh, see, that makes sense. So you know all about the movies, Real Sunshine. Awesome live video. Thank you, Frank. GA Girl says, watching the replay, thumbs up. Thank you, GA. And she says, hi, Frank. Okay, I think that's it. Do you see any more comments today? I want to make sure I catch everybody.
No, I
Nope.
don't see any more.
All right. Thanks again, you all, for having me. And thanks for joining in the conversation. We will see you all on the next pop-up or the next live or upload, whatever. Oh, in the meantime, check Jamie out. Help her with those 91 watch hours. And also, Tay says she's not concerned, but still hit her up and, help me out however you can if you're willing. If not, you don't have to, because I know it's going to happen. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Tay. Thank you all. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.